with offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-37.
Since 1977, this year celebrating 45 years on the air. Now, Steve Kane.
Alrighty, guys. Yes. Oh, man. Welcome to the program. We've got a lot to talk about on the radio today. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. This is Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show. Oh, man. What should we do on the 50th anniversary? Any ideas, guys, on the 50th anniversary of Steve Kane on the radio, which may be a world record? What should we do on that day? Welcome. We have we'll have a jubilee like they're having for the Queen. Oh, man. I thought the Queen of England's name was Elton John. Who's Elizabeth? All right, guys. No, we've got a lot to talk about, a lot going on. You know, some people today in the YouTube live video, you know, on my YouTube video every day, I have to put a title for the show, what we're going to talk about, and a thumbnail. And today, I have up there about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and how this is the end of the Me Too movement. And I got some messages from a few people today, and I saw some people in the chat room early on before the show went live. I don't care about Hollywood. They're like the leave Britney alone people. I don't care about Hollywood. If you're going to talk about Hollywood, I'm not listening. Well, you know, first, you know, this Johnny Depp Amber Heard verdict has so much to do with President Trump, MAGA, America, our culture, our future, the November election, the 2024 election. Don't you understand what this shows? This Johnny Depp victory, this thing that women should be believed. You know, here's the deal, okay? What the Johnny Depp said that Amber Heard and her friends, this is one of the things that it was so interesting because Johnny Depp, one of the, because she was suing him, he was suing her, and she had these things that she called slanders, I guess, that she was suing him over. One of the things Amber Heard was suing Johnny Depp for saying was taken right out of the mouth of Brit Hume on Fox News Channel a number of years ago when Obama was president. Johnny Depp watches Fox News Channel. I know he said some things about Trump, but he watches Fox News Channel. One of the things that, and I know that because when talking about Amber Heard, he took this line from Brit Hume that I just happened to catch on Bret Baier's show a decade ago, it seems. And here's what it is, okay? Johnny Depp said of Amber Heard that she uses this Me Too as a shield or a weapon, whichever one it fits her at the time. Brit Hume said on the panel with Bret Baier years ago, when Obama was president and Biden was vice president, he said Obama uses race as a shield or a weapon, whichever he needs at that particular time. And this Me Too movement, women should be believed, and they have this other phrase, my truth, your truth, her truth, you know, and women should be believed even if they make things up. And what this Johnny Depp Amber Heard verdict shows is in a major way that the American people, in particular this jury, the American people are rejecting everything liberalism and everything that the Democrats are out there promoting. Don't you see? That's why, I don't care about Hollywood celebrities. I don't care. Care about this? You think I care about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp? I like Johnny Depp. I remember 21 Jump Street's pretty good. That still holds up. If you watch it, it's on Hulu. I watched a few episodes a couple years back. Very good still. Holds up. I was a fan of Richard Grieco. Yeah. Holly Robbins. Remember the show? Very good show. No. Liberalism is over. This is a conservative MAGA country now. The end of Me Too is now upon us. That verdict yesterday was the beginning of the end of the Me Too movement. If you were writing a history of the Me Too movement, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard verdict would be the beginning of the end of it. Don't you get it? It's not about what she did in his bed and what she said, what he said. I didn't follow the trial. I did listen to his testimony a little bit, because you want to hear somebody like that talk, and he was acting with that European accent that he has and all that stuff. But I didn't follow this trial. I don't care about the trial. I don't care about Johnny Depp. I don't care about Amber Heard. And I don't care about Hollywood. But what I care about is a complete rejection of everything Democrat by this country. This Sussman trial, Durham, we didn't get a chance to talk. I was going to talk about the Sussman verdict in the last hour yesterday with Steve. I was saving it for the whole show to talk to Steve about it, but then we got hung up on the Herschel Walker thing. But so a guilty man walked free, Sussman. And that was the most upsetting, unjust verdict I've seen. That was a high-profile verdict since the O.J. Simpson trial, where O.J. Simpson was found not guilty of killing two people that he clearly killed, Ron and Nicole. It's upsetting. But look, they had to get a jury of Clinton donors on it, a jury of Clintonistas with an Obama judge, and then they celebrate like Trump was wrong and we got a victory here. I did nothing wrong. Give me a break. This Johnny Depp Amber Heard verdict shows you not just that our legal system still works, but that the country has rejected the left. The country has rejected liberalism. It's over. And the reason that it's over, the reason that liberalism has been rejected by the American people is many. Over $8 a gallon of gas in California is a big part of it. Every gas station is a Trump campaign sign right now. That's a big one. But people are fed up. People are fed up. And, the thing with the left, see, the left have a lot of problems. The left have a lot of dysfunctions. But do you know what their biggest dysfunction is? What do you think it is? I'm not going to troll for calls on this. I hate when people do that on shows. They throw out a question to try to get as many calls as they can answering this question, and every caller gets the answer wrong, they'll tell you, even if they get it right, and then, you know what I mean, so they can prolong. The biggest dysfunction of the left, what do you think it is? I'll tell you what it is. The biggest dysfunction of the left that causes them to fail all the time, now it's happening on a massive scale, the biggest dysfunction of the left is they have no boundaries. No boundaries. They get a little break, they get a victory, and then they want more. They get a victory, then they take a lot more. And they keep pushing, and then they push too far. I mean, look at this idiot Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen, if we had a competent president, would be fired yesterday. Well, I guess I was wrong about inflation. Well, thanks a lot. Who could have predicted this? Anybody with a brain? The reason Janet Yellen and all these Biden people didn't see this coming is because they don't live in the real world. They're all rich, but they didn't earn any of the money. They're all rich through government corruption, selling of public offices and things like this. They didn't earn the money. They don't respect it. They don't understand it. And they're so uber rich from their thievery and political corruption. A couple dollars more for a gallon of gas ain't no big deal. They don't even buy their own gas, most of them. And those that do, they write it off, as an expense and all this stuff. So they don't get the real world. And when I see Janet Yellen being mocked yesterday on left-wing media, that's great. Don't you see? every domino, if you set up dominoes, kids don't play dominoes anymore. Remember dominoes? If you set up dominoes and every domino was another liberal thing, right? Me Too, Ready for Hillary, Kamala Harris, green, carbon crap. Every domino that the left have been promoting, boom, 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 has been falling. And it's awesome. And enjoy it and savor it, because we are experiencing, this is winning. This is the winning President Trump always talked about. Now, Fox News is disgusting. They're a disgusting organization. That doesn't mean there aren't people here and there on Fox News that I like. I like Tucker. People have people they like over there. I get it. But as an organization, Fox News is disgusting. They're carrying the Queen's Jubilee live, and Martha McCallum is over there with that redcoat they hired, Pierce Morgan, whoever else they send over there, and they're all dressed fancy like they're going to the Kentucky Derby or something. I would like to hear them explain to me a justification to carrying the Queen's Jubilee but not carrying a Trump rally. How do you carry the Queen's Jubilee but not a Trump rally? Can someone explain that to me? How do you justify that, Fox News Channel? Give me a break. Fox News viewers, what do you want to watch? A Trump rally or the Queen's Jubilee? And enough of these Brits yucking it up about the great experiences. I don't have a problem with the Queen. I don't mind the Queen. I don't know. That movie, The Queen, was pretty good. Showed how out of touch her and the whole royal family are. But I don't care about... We rejected the monarchy and we're supposed to honor it? This is crazy. It's another betrayal of the Fox News Channel, carrying the Queen's Jubilee, but not carrying a Trump rally. Oh no, we've got it on the Fox Nation app. That's a cop-out. The Fox Nation app carrying the Trump rally doesn't count. They won't carry it on their air. President Trump made a historic speech that was very newsworthy Friday at the NRA convention right after the events in Uvalde. That's news. They didn't cover it. But they'll carry the Queen's Jubilee. I have nothing against the Queen. Prince Harry, though, needs to man up. I was reading yesterday, Prince Harry has assurances that his family will be protected. Prince Harry just thinks everyone's just out to get him. I think the problem with, what the problem is with Prince Harry and I don't believe Charles is his father, okay? And I know they said that they took a DNA test and it proved that Charles is his father. I remember there was, Diana had a driver / security guard who was a redheaded guy, and there were tabloid rumors years ago that they had an affair, and the redheaded driver of Diana's was the father of Harry. And that's probably what this is all about. Talk about that, Pierce Morgan. Anyway, we'll take our first break. There's so much going on. There's so much to talk about. Enjoy this rejection of the left. Enjoy the failure of the Me Too movement. Everyone has dealt with harassment in the workplace, especially when you're young. Not just actors and actresses. Everyone has. It's part of growing up. When I was younger and I was starting out in the work world, I was sexually harassed by both men and women. That's right. By men and women. And most of the time you don't even know it because you're young and you're stupid. You don't know what's going on. Sexually harassed more by men than women, but I've gotten harassed by both. People in positions above me, you know what? It builds character. It's part of growing up. You don't have to wear some pink hat on your head and start suing people. All right, listen, we're going to take a break. When we get back, there's so much to talk about today. Our phones are open at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Hey, guys, you see how Joe Biden is, right? This goes for the ladies, too, not just the guys. But you see how Joe Biden is. I'm here today. He can't even remember the name of his own cabinet. You know, he's out of it all the time. You know, as you grow older, you slow down. You lose energy. There's cognitive decline in many people. Life does not have to be that way for both men and women. You don't have to be like Biden. Who wants to be? You don't have to be that way. Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station. Give him a call. There's a no-charge consultation for listeners of the Steve Kane Show. That's right. Talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. It's life-changing. I've been a patient of Dr. Matez for 6 years now. And I have met so many listeners, both men and women, before and after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy. And the first time I'll meet them, they're checked out. They're like Biden. I'm at Wings Plus. Steve and I are at Wings Plus. Alyssa, a long time. They don't even know. They're scooting their feet in, you know. And then the next time I see them, I can tell if I recognize them. Sometimes I don't recognize them because they've built muscle. They look different. They look many years younger with hormone replacement pellet therapy. They come in. Hey, Brian, proud to meet you. Hey, I met you at Wings Plus. And they shake my hand and it hurts. They like squeeze my hand. Hormone replacement pellet therapy, if you have erectile dysfunction, gone. It restores your energy. You know, as you grow older, your body produces fewer hormones. That's part of the aging process. Hormone replacement therapy is 100% all natural and does just what it says. Replaces those hormones that you are no longer having produced by your body because you're getting older. It will change your life. You'll get your energy back, your sex drive back. If you are suffering from hair loss will stop. The hair you have left will grow back thicker and fuller. It's absolutely amazing. And women, hormone replacement pellet therapy in women not only completely 100% stops the signs and symptoms of menopause, but reverses them. Night sweats gone. Mood swings gone. Vaginal dryness, that's gone too, and that's 100% reversed, ladies, with hormone replacement pellet therapy. Give Dr. Mitch Matez a call at the Bio Station, a completely free consultation, but you got to mention that you heard about Dr. Matez on the Steve Kane Show. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. We'll take our break. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back with your calls after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Craig here with a huge announcement from the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the My Pillow, Mike Lindell. And My Pillow are now offering a BOGO extravaganza on multiple My Pillow items. Right now at mypillow.com with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E at checkout. Buy one, get free pricing on My Pillow bed sheets, Giza Elegance My Pillows, the 6-piece My Pillow towel set, and the My Pillow Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows, and so much more. Just go to mypillow.com.
Steve Kane Show.
Radio listener specials. Use the promo code KANE.
Hey, hold on. You'll be first. Steve Kane Show.
Or call toll free
800-716-4879. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
800-716-4879. The BOGO extravaganza at mypillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E at checkout. And with each purchase for free, you will get a copy of Mike Lindell's autobiography. Call 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Or go to the radio listener special page at mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642 or online at lighthouse.
Awesome, Metro.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey there, Brian. It's Ben from Pompano.
Ben from Pompano, what's up?
So I wanted to actually bring up something that kind of piggybacks off what you were saying yesterday about the exodus of black staffers and the fact that the Me Too era, people are rejecting Democrats and liberals. NBC came out with such a great article, NBC of all places, about how there's really, Biden's upset. Not only that his polling numbers are so low, and they even use the word, he's mystified, media covered it too, that, his numbers are so low, he doesn't understand. He's upset with staffers because they keep undermining him and making him look weak. I mean, NBC was really coming at him with, making him look more pathetic than usual. And so I don't know if you read that article, but man, you would get such a kick out of it.
I'll look for it. Well, here's the thing with Joe Biden. It's not just that he's old and checked out. Hormone replacement pellet therapy would change Biden. He'd be his old nasty self, and he'd be. I don't know if it'd be better for the country if he had hormone replacement and he was alert. I don't know, but the reason things are going so poorly is not really because he's checked out. He's spent half a century in Congress. And congressmen, remember, and by the way, people say, he's not a congressman, he was a senator. Learn your social studies, people. There's 2 houses in the Congress, okay? But in the Senate, all they do is vote yay, nay, or present. They don't do anything. They're like college professors. Yeah. And for the first time in his life, he's accountable, to do something. And he doesn't know, these people don't know how to, all they know how to do is vote yay or nay and virtue signal. Climate change, Pride Month. They don't know how to fix anything. That's why babies are starving in America this morning.
No, I know. I mean, most of them are more skilled at, all you have to do in order to be a good senator is just get elected. And those skills don't carry over into actually producing good policy for the people. If you can just lie and convince people to elect you, then, that's really all you need. Producing results is secondary.
I remember when Biden was vice president, Obama put him in charge of something. I can't remember what it was. And he gave a press conference. They were trying to get something done. And he says, we are working around the clock 2 days a week. He said this at a press conference. And that's when he had his mind together, right? And in his mind, sitting around talking 2 days a week is working around the clock. No one in Congress ever has brought a solution to anything.
Yeah, well, that's for a slip, I'm sure. But he's, the article was called "The White House Adrift," and man, oh man,
I'll look it up.
It's the most pathetic thing I've ever read. He's truly he's a pathetic man who's not in control, and he's whining at people for not. He's like, Democrats need to start defending me better, but please look it up. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Okay, I will look it up. All right, Ben from Pompano, take care. Today I'm not wearing my Make America Great Again hat. I'm wearing a hat. A listener gave me this hat. Gary in Coral Springs gave me this hat, and this is a great hat. I do wear this sometimes. This is a good one. It says Trump DeSantis 24, Make America Florida. I love this hat, and anytime I wear this hat, I get a compliment on it. People like that. Make America Florida. Isn't that great? Trump DeSantis 24, Make America Florida. Right. Oh, man. I know. Isn't it great? It's a great hat. I like this hat. Thanks, Gary, by the way, in Coral Springs. Mike in Louisiana. Good morning.
You talk about why should we care what happens with the royals, Why should we care? Remember, the whole thing with the Charles and Diana's wedding, it was, why was it so big over here? Why should we care 2 royals getting married? Why should we care? Yeah, she got murdered or whatever. Why should we care that somebody like that got murdered? That was a big deal here. Nobody's ever explained to me why we as Americans should care.
I'll tell you why. The media, I'm not talking about Fox News today. I'll explain that in a minute. But the media, like you're talking about Diana's wedding and all that, they're based out of New York. And the New York media, they think they're American royalty. Sometimes they even call themselves that, right? They think they're American royalty, the media elite. and they think they're equal to like the royal family. Fox News will not carry a Trump rally, but they're carrying the Queen's Jubilee today. It's because it's owned by Rupert Murdoch, you know, and they got Sky News over there and everything. They're all wrapped up in the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth nations, and the senior management at Fox News are in the Commonwealth of British nations, Rupert Murdoch and all of them. So to them, it's a big deal.
And also, you know, you look at what he said. You know, you look at what Biden said about working 2 days a week, right? And
yeah, and I'll tell you, all these liberal people sucking up over the Queen's Jubilee, you know, they're racist. You know, I watched Harry marry his wife there, and when her mother walked in, who's black, because, you know, Meghan Markle's passing. She's been passing her whole life as white. And when the mother walked in, who's black, you watch the faces on the members of the royal family. Oh my goodness, they were appalled. And they had a black preacher from Chicago go up there and preach in front of at the you know, Westminster and all that. They're racist. The royals are racist. And I'll tell you another thing, you liberals that are griping about slavery all the time that none of us were alive during. Who brought slavery to the New World but the Brits, the royal family? How do you think slavery got in the Americas? It was the British royal family.
Right, and that's the thing. Now, as far as Biden saying working 2 days a week or whatever it was, they said
round the clock. He said it.
Yeah, but think about this: Congress, they don't do anything on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Not one thing. They barely do anything on Monday, and basically the only 2 days they work is Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That's it. So
yeah,
maybe there's a little bit of truth to what he said.
Yeah. Oh no, there was a lot of truth to it. What, you know, that just shows how how out of touch Biden was. I mean, what do you think if you're in the media? How do you judge if you were to ask one of these media elites, explain to me the justification for carrying the Queen's Jubilee on Fox News, but not carrying a Trump rally? Can you? What would they say?
I got no idea. I mean, they're not going to say what you said. You know, that the Fox kids and the Murdochs and stuff are from that part of the world, and this, that, and the other, and that they're not going to say. They're not actually going to say that because at least the people on air, because well, if they did say that, they'd get fired. You know.
Yeah, there's no justification for it. The Fox News audience would rather watch a Trump rally than the Queen's Jubilee. I mean, that's it. I mean, we fought a revolution. No more kings. Remember Schoolhouse Rock? No more kings. You know?
Here's the thing. Think about this. If you know the history of it, they wanted to make George Washington a king. And what did he say? We did a lot to get away from another King George. That's what he said.
Yeah, and Black Lives Matter is they have chapters in England. And I know that sounds crazy, right? But I saw one of the members of Black Lives Matter in the UK branch of Black Lives Matter. She had an English accent and everything. And she made a very good point. The only good point I've ever heard a member of Black Lives Matter make, but it was made from Black Lives Matter UK. And she said, unlike America, here in England, in the United Kingdom, we never had a civil rights movement. You know? So we're not in positions of top-level power and authority in this country because we've never had a civil rights movement for blacks in the United Kingdom. So all these liberals celebrating the Queen, they've had no civil rights movement over there. Go talk to BLM UK. They'd love to talk to you. BLM, actually, what their official title is, BLM UK Double-Decker Bus. That's what they call themselves. And you think, yeah. And that, not really. I made that up. I stole that from the funniest television show ever made. But NTSD, you ever see this? SUV, the funniest show ever made. Look it up online. But Black Lives Matter over there, they're very active and very vocal, and they say they're oppressed. So CNN, instead of carrying the Queen's Jubilee Go talk to Black Lives Matter UK. They got a lot to say, and they're interested in BLM over here. Why not in the UK while they're there?
You know, my only question about Black Lives Matter UK is, are they just as corrupt as the ones here? That's my only question about them.
Oh, you mean do they live in mansions and, like, do they have like a Downton... Does BLM have like their own Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine? Downton Abbey, BLM. That would be a great parody on Saturday Night Live, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but the problem with that is...
Of course, they would have all white servants.
Yeah. Problem with that is, Saturday Night Live hasn't been that funny in almost a decade or more,
Yeah. All right. Mike in Louisiana, take care. Thanks for the call. All right. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
Hi, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. If you call or text me on my cell phone, I will analyze your home and your FPL bill over the phone, and I can quote you on insulation, ducts, and radiant barrier. Call me now, and I'll show you how to save up to 30 to 40% on your electric bill this month and for every month from here till eternity. 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Call now. Get up to 50% off and receive an additional $500 on over 2,000 square feet of radiant barrier, an additional $1,000 off on 4,000 square feet of radiant barrier. Call or text me now, 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Or you can find me on the web at cutmykilowatts.com.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs from
Good morning, everyone. Make sure you like the video, guys. If you're new, please subscribe. We do take calls live, as you can hear.
Offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
Hey, do you suffer from back pain, knee pain, joint pain? I know the knee's a joint, but another joint. Osteoarthritis, irritable bowel, many other illnesses. But are you suffering with pain? Back pain, oh man, back pain is a disability. Joint pain makes you immobile. Give Lighthouse Medical Center a call. You've seen what they've done for Steve's neuropathy. Steve no longer has neuropathy. It's gone. He went through that treatment. It just, boom. By the way, if you have neuropathy, you want to call them too. And, we found Lighthouse Medical Center because Steve was suffering bad with neuropathy. Bad. I mean, he couldn't walk, and he was in pain and everything. So he had every symptom of neuropathy. It was awful. He went to neurologist, everything else. They couldn't help. Get used to it. Oh, okay. Gee whiz. I mean, they want you to be in bed all day, these doctors, like, Charlie Bucket's grandparents. And we found Lighthouse Medical Center for neuropathy treatment, which just is a miracle for Steve, just changed Steve's life. And I just found out this week that their treatment doesn't just work with neuropathy, it works with back pain, knee pain, other joints that are in pain, osteoarthritis. If you don't have to suffer with pain, give them it's a no-charge consultation, by the way, if you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Stop living with pain. You don't have to. Give them a call. Take advantage of that no-charge consultation. All right, so Canada, they're outlawing the guns, right? We hear from the Prime Minister. Now this new thing that they're going to decriminalize drug possession. Listen to this. Canada's westernmost province set a record for drug overdose deaths last year. 2,224 people died in 2021. Fentanyl, a powerful opioid that is 50 to 100 times more powerful than morphine, is driving the increase in overdose deaths. A report earlier this year by the British Columbia Coroner Service found that fentanyl was detected in 79% of drug overdose deaths last year. Drug dealers on the black market market a mix of fentanyl with other drugs like heroin and cocaine. Oh, I lost my place here. Where are we? Or even press it into counterfeit pills to resemble Xanax and other opioids in order to stretch out their supply and increase the effects of their product. The mayor of Vancouver welcomed the drug decriminalization experiment to town, saying it will remove police from the lives of drug users and instead connect them to a growing array of effective healthcare services. The mayor of Vancouver said, "We need to detoxify our drug supply with legalized, uncontaminated supplies of illicit substances, build more purpose-built housing with embedded healthcare support, and improve more safe and supervised consumption sites." Consumption sites are, drug dens. South of British Columbia, Oregon became the first state in the U.S. to decriminalize small amounts of drugs in 2020 when voters approved the Drug Addiction Treatment and Recovery Act. Several cities throughout the U.S. have decriminalized psychedelic drugs like LSD and mushrooms. Okay, this is insane. This decriminalization of drugs. I remember people were talking about legalizing drugs a lot in the 80s, and it died off, and then they pushed to legalize marijuana, and most people have no problem with the legalization of marijuana, okay? They figure it's harmless and all that stuff. It's not heroin, it's not these things, I get it. And we talked at the time, and they would laugh at us, the media would laugh. Marijuana is the gateway. It's the gateway, right? We would talk about this. It's a slippery slope. Next is this, next is that. Next thing you know, you got a heroin user. Or whatever they take these days, I don't know. And people were always talking about legalizing drugs, and now it's happening. How does this make sense? How does it they have an increase in overdose deaths is because a lot of people do not do drugs because they're illegal and they don't want to go to jail. Right? When you decriminalize something that is currently criminal, more people are going to take part in it. They're going to take part in it. And when you legalize drugs and sell them and the government sells the drugs, not only do more people do drugs, it boosts the business of drug dealers. Do you know why that is? I've seen reports of this in Colorado, right? If you go to one of the legal pot places in Colorado, the prices are through the roof because the government does what they do, right? They tax everything. They regulate and tax it. So drug dealers, street drug dealers, their marijuana business has been booming in Colorado since it was legalized because their marijuana is cheaper than what you buy in the pot shops because there's no regulation or taxation on it. And it's legal, right? Oh, no, it's not legal. The marijuana that you buy from the drug dealer, that's not legal pot. You got to go to the store. No, all you need is a receipt. All you need is the receipt. How do they tell that weed that you're smoking, you didn't buy it in the pot shop? All you need is the receipt. People are not going to buy the legal opioids in British Columbia and legal cocaine. It's going to be too expensive because of government regulation and the taxation. Plus, it's not going to be as strong as the street cocaine and stuff they can buy. Stupid. Oh yeah, let's defund the police and legalize all the crimes. Oh, great. Wonderful country. Go look at New York. That's your defunding the police effort up there. And defunding doesn't just mean money. The no bail, all this other stuff, BLM, all this, factor into it. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. After this experiment, we're going to find a lot more overdose deaths. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Elise.
Hey, Elise, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from West Palm.
Elise in West Palm. Good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning. Well, I have been clean for 12 years. And I started out smoking marijuana. And I never used to think that marijuana was a gateway drug until my addiction graduated into other things. And luckily, I quit 12 years ago.
The number's right there.
I remember
you guys
thinking
give them the number in the chat.
a lot of times, like, am I getting exactly what I'm buying as far as street was concerned? And luckily, I never graduated to it like a needle or anything like that.
Oh, gosh.
The thing is no, I never did, which, like, thank God, because I'm 52
Thanks,
years
Ron.
old, and I'm kind of, like, out of the fray as far as, like, age group, because there'll be people in NA with me that have been in rehab, like, 32 times.
Well, the reason that marijuana became legal is because the 60s, 70s hippie generation got older and in positions of power. And they all smoked weed. And that's where the marijuana legalization came in. But, you know, I mean, think about it. You know, I talk about my pathetic addiction is coffee. Those of you that have a coffee addiction like me, how many cups do you drink a day? What did you used to drink a day? And how many more are you drinking today than you used to, right? And that's the same way with drugs, even if we're talking about cigarettes. But legalizing marijuana in this country, it doesn't get reported on too much because the media don't want to tell you about it. But it's been a huge negative. It's been a huge negative.
It's been a huge negative. My son's 19, and he just came home from Vegas on a trip he was on with his school. And he said literally every other store is a marijuana smoke shop.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's wonderful. Great town, Vegas.
And in New York, when he was there, he's a singer. He went and sang at Carnegie Hall. He said that there's trucks, like food trucks, that sell marijuana all day long.
Get out of town, really? Marijuana food trucks kind of thing? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. The thing is that there used to be a time where, like, say if you had ecstasy, you could go and test it to see, like, if it was pure or not. There's no way of knowing if anything is in fentanyl. Fentanyl could be in anything.
Yeah. Well, people don't, as I was saying earlier, though, people do not like to buy the government-approved legalized drugs because they're too expensive. Because there's regulation and taxes, and it drives the price up. So the illegal drug dealer's business increases in towns where there's legal marijuana. You just need to have a receipt from the legal guy, and you know they can print those up off the internet. You know these days. I mean, it's been a failure.
It's a complete failure. I agree with you. I just wanted to chime in on that. I'm you 100%.
All right, take care. Thanks. All right, recovered addict from Palm Beach. That's right. Oh man, I'm looking outside. The sun is coming up over the beach. It looks beautiful outside, and I'm watching the. Let me check the weather here. I mean, what's going on in the weather? I got to look. I mean, it looks like we are going to have possibly a tropical storm over the weekend. And, you know, a lot of you are new to Florida. A lot of you are new to Florida. Do what they tell you on the news when it comes to tropical storms and hurricanes, okay? People that are new to Florida, a tropical storm is not a hurricane, okay? But you can get hurricane strength wind gusts. And yeah, so do what you're told. And I'm going to tell you, today I'm filling up my cars. I have a generator at home. You know, I might start buying some gas for the generator just in case, you know, because I want to go without electricity at home. But hurricanes are serious business. They're serious business. All right, listen, we'll take our last break of the first hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular...
Oh, why? Because I shaved, I look 10 years younger? Yeah.
Standing metal seam, wood shakes,
Yeah, I shaved with a blade today. I don't usually do that. Every few weeks I do.
4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642 or online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental is the official dentist of the Steve Kane Show. For good reason. He does great work at affordable prices. Listen to a Steve Kane listener share their experience with Dr. Gupta.
Hi, this is Tim, one of your loyal listeners, and I just want to thank you for turning me on to Dr. Gupta. I went over to him yesterday, and I had a great experience, and makes you feel very comfortable over there, and has a beautiful place. And,
I'm reading this article about the Pride Marine promotion.
Make Dr. Gupta the official dentist of your family. Give him a call. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. Online, BrightonDentalCare.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Oh, man, we are back. Yes. 9 minutes before 7 o'clock in the morning. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Did you see this thing with the Marines for Pride Month? You know, my dad was in the Marine Corps, and I used to have this T-shirt that I used to wear when I was a kid, a Marine Corps T-shirt. And it was a T-shirt that all the Marines wore. I haven't seen it in a long time, and you know what? The Marine Corps itself may have even printed these shirts, for all I know. When I describe it, many of you that are Marines will know what I'm talking about. It was a red T-shirt that had white screen printing on the front and the back. It's screen printing. This was the 70s, 80s. And on the front of it, USMC with the Marine Corps anchor and globe and all that. But it had the front of a bulldog. I guess the bulldog is the mascot of the Marines or something, but it had a bulldog on it. That was on the front, right? USMC, bulldog on the front. Do you guys know what it had on the back? Anyone remember this T-shirt? This was a great Marine Corps T-shirt. I used to wear it all the time when I was a kid. On the back of it, you had the bulldog on the front, facing you. On the back, you had the back of the bulldog. And of course, it was a male bulldog that had the largest testicles and penis you've ever seen on a dog. You guys remember this T-shirt? Any of you remember those T-shirts? Because the Marines had balls. That's right. That's right. I'm sure I'm not the only one that I was even in the Marines and I had that shirt and remember. It was very, very popular. Well, the Marines have changed. On the United States Marine Corps' official Twitter account, yesterday, the USMC tweeted out their own message in support of Gay Pride Month for June, posting a photo of a Marine helmet with rainbow bullets in the strap of the helmet, and it says, "Proud to serve." Yeah. Throughout June, the USMC takes #Pride, this was on Twitter, in recognizing and honoring the contributions of our LGBTQ service members. We remain committed to fostering an environment free from discrimination and defend the values of treating all equal with dignity and respect, reads the Marine Corps tweet. I thought the Marines were in the business of killing the enemy and being tough. And they used to be scary. Now they're all woke. You know, there's a video online. I can't play this on the air because it's a visual, and the audio you can't make out too clearly. It doesn't work on the radio. But there's a female African-American soldier who was mouthing off to her superior. She wouldn't do what he said. It's an amazing video. Have you seen this? I got an article. I'll see if I can find this later. But this rainbow flag bullet thing that the Marine Corps put out there, does that send fears down the spine of those who would harm our nation? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that sends out a message that America is weak. Why do you think Putin invaded Ukraine? Do you think if the Marine Corps would have put out this pride bullet thing when Trump was the commander-in-chief, they would have deleted it by now. He would have ordered the commandant of the Marine Corps to take down that tweet. That's not the message you want to send to America's enemies. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is me, Richie.
Oh, hey, Richie.
You know, you're great with the topics. I don't know what way to go with this, but here's the first thing. This press.
I can take a break because Richie's talking, so
everything
I don't have to talk right now.
You can't speak directly with anything. She reads everything off of cue cards. Can't believe it. Talked about this is the month of the gay month, and I thought about Disney World again on Saturday. They're going to have their gay pride day at Disney. I'm saying to this.
Well, it's going to get rained out. There's going to be like a tropical storm over Disney on Saturday.
Yeah, well, here I am. I'm identified as a man because I was born a man, and I don't go for any of this crap that they got going on. I mean, this whole country's gone upside down. I don't give a damn about this LGBT community.
I'm not bald like Tim Pool.
I don't see any straight men months, do you? I don't know. Last thing
Well, what they would say is every month is straight men's month. I mean, look at this Johnny Depp verdict. Even the jury sided with the man.
Yeah, I watched that whole trial, by the way, because I'm home, and people don't realize what this is.
Is there really going to be a gay pride parade at Walt Disney World? Like,
usually have it the first Saturday of June, gay month.
Why are you keeping track of all the gay days at Disney, Richie?
Well, I ended up on the second year. I went with a date and her two daughters, and had to walk out of the park and got tickets to Epcot because it was disgusting, man. I mean, they were flooding the street. And
if we didn't have this bad weather coming towards Florida, I would think about going up to Disney and making a YouTube vlog on my YouTube channel to show everyone the gay pride parade at Disney.
Because they're openly out there touching each other, touchy-feely. I mean, it's really.
Oh, really?
Hey, listen. As for the marijuana deal, okay? You're right. You want to know? Think about an industry that the United States government and it relates to the gas money right now. Biden got asked about the gas prices and the food shortages, and he laughed in the reporter's face yesterday, and he said, "No, they're going to keep going up."
Well, you know what I wonder today, okay? Because you've seen the weather reports, right? Yeah. It looks like we're going to have a tropical storm over the entire Florida peninsula, doesn't it? Or am I off base?
Well, you're going to get it. You're going to get it from Orlando down, I think.
Yeah, Orlando down. Okay. So usually, now I am not a weatherman, and these are not official weather reports. So usually what happens when, it doesn't look like we're going to get a hurricane in Florida. You never know. But with a tropical storm, you do get hurricane-force wind gusts, which are pretty strong. Usually what happens when there's weather like this, the gas stations starting today are going to be lined up with people filling up their tanks and their jugs for the generators. I wonder, because of the high gas prices, are people not going to go mad at the gas stations like they normally do when we get this kind of weather coming in?
Well, check this out. You brought up something real good. I got six metal gas cans here that I was prepared to fill up a couple of years ago with the hurricane coming. 6, and I have a generator. because each one of them, and my generator like gives me 20 hours of runtime, and it's a Honda. So I'm thinking, okay, I got these 6 gaskets. My wife says to me the other day, this hurricane season, we're gonna have to put gas in these cans. I said, do you realize each gas can is 5 gallons? You know how much to fill up each?
Well, that's the thing. I have 8 5-gallon drums, and what I usually do is I fill up my car, my wife's car, and my daughter's car with gas. I fill up my gas jugs, and then I come home and fill up my generator, and then I go back and fill up the gas jugs that I put in the generator. But right now, if I were to, and I never worried about it because, you know what, if the storm doesn't come, I'll just be filling up my cars with my 5-gallon jugs for a few weeks. It's no big deal. But gas prices are so high right now, how much would it cost me to fill up a 5-gallon jug? And then I got 8 of them? Yeah, so $200, and plus I got to fill up the cars. And I think people are not going to prepare for the hurricanes like they normally would. I think the gas station, if we had a hurricane coming for sure, like if we had a Cat 1 or 2 coming, I think people would not load up on gas like they normally do because of the price.
Yeah, real quick. What industry did our federal government basically put out of business? They were one of the strongest lobbyists and industries in this country. And it has to do with the marijuana and the pricing. And I'll tell you right up so you don't have to guess. Cigarettes. I can remember on 441, the Indian reservations used to have no taxes. And you could go in there and buy cigarettes tax-free. And people went there. All 441 was all cigarettes.
That's right. I remember the days, yeah.
And because the government cigarettes, the taxes. You look at the taxes they put on cigarettes. They're doing the same thing with gas.
Yeah.
They put cigarettes out of reach.
I'm surprised the Seminoles don't sell weed.
Yeah, that would be. They can undercut everybody.
Oh yeah. All right, Richie, got to run for the break. Take care. It's 7:01. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Back after this.
This is the talk of South Florida, 95.3, 96.9, AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG Live station.
Traveling, you need a COVID test? Maybe you need a
Steve Kane Show.
Work or school. Stop by any lab test now of Boca or any.
Okay, you'll be next. Hold on.
They offer all the COVID testing panels you need.
Joseph from Montreal is next.
Antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any lab test now of Boca.
Well, I have to end the call. We're on a bunch of radio stations. I'm late for the break. I don't think POV should be talking about people being rude. I saw a couple of your comments in here.
Edison of sleep, the inventor of the My Pillow, Mike Lindell, and My Pillow are now offering a BOGO extravaganza on multiple My Pillow items right now at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E at checkout. Buy one, get free pricing on My Pillow bed sheets, Giza Elegance My Pillows, the 6-piece My Pillow towel set, and the My Pillow Roll and Go Anywhere
My wife sent me the article that the first caller brought up from NBC News. I'll read it. I haven't read it yet, but he recommended it, so I'll read it on the air.
716-48-79, 800-716-48-79. The BOGO extravaganza at mypillow.com with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E at checkout. And with each purchase for free, you will get a copy of Mike Lindell's autobiography. Call 800-716-4879, 800-716-4879, or go to the radio listener special page at mypillow.com and use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida.
Hey, Richie, didn't try changing topics today.
Yeah. Well, it's his favorite topic, gays. That's Richie's favorite topic. I don't know why.
You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in Florida, on the air since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the air. Now, Steve Kane with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. 4 minutes after the hour, I am Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Welcome, everyone. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joseph in Montreal, Brian.
All right, I can hear the Canadian accent, Joseph, from Montreal.
I prefer to hear. I don't have one.
What's the? Well, no, you have one to me because I'm in another country. What's the current penalty if you were to have a yard sale at your house? What would be the current penalty if it was only in English and not in French?
Probably nothing.
Really? They don't punish you for not putting things up in French anymore?
They do if you're a private business. A yard sale, I don't think they would have.
Oh, okay. But if you have a private business, see, this is great. In Canada, no guns, legalized drugs, and everything has to be in French. Free country, right?
It's just a fantastic place.
Oh, yeah.
It's extremely demoralizing, demotivating living here. I tell you, I just don't believe what's going on in this country. It's a disgrace. And, in Montreal, they've had these heroin injection sites for...
Oh, my... Wow. What? What do you mean? You can just show up and get heroin injected into your veins?
Well, you can go there and lawfully, you can inject heroin without being arrested. I don't know.
Do you have to bring your own heroin?
I believe so, but they don't talk much about it. But I suspect the government might be providing.
Oh my! I'm sure they at least give you the needles because of clean needles.
Definitely, absolutely. And you know the way I look at this thing. Let's say you had a teenage son or daughter, 15 years old, and she was an alcoholic. And in the guise of giving her a safe environment to drink and continue her addiction, would you go out and buy her a bottle of vodka? No, you wouldn't. You would try to get her off it.
Correct.
So they're doing the opposite here. They're encouraging the use of intravenous drugs, which is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. And apparently, Canada, I've been out of breath. I'm hiking over to McDonald's.
Oh.
Apparently, Canada is a signatory to the UN non-proliferation of drugs. And I don't know how they get around that with all the things.
Well, listen, we have our own drug dens in this country where things are legal. People tell me they go to New York and all they smell is pot now, and out in Oregon and in Seattle and San Francisco and Vegas. They got all kinds of legalization. We've got legalized prostitution in most of Nevada. Oh, you guys have legalized prostitution. I forgot in Canada.
No, not yet, but I think they're working on it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's Trudeau's voter base. He's everything this character does is for the benefit of his own party in re-election. He does not appeal to the vast majority of Canadians or look out for them.
And I'll tell you, I don't know why the Democrats love Canada so much. I mean, I haven't seen a black person. I haven't seen an African Canadian in a position of authority ever in Canada.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, where are all the black leaders in Canada? You guys don't seem to have any. But we're the racist country, right? We had a black president. We got a black vice president.
Well, yes, especially Quebec. It's very racist.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I'm stuck here until I get back down to Margate, which I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, I thought the Canadians are usually back by and you're a snowbird. You've gone back to Canada after the icy.
No, I fly back and forth. I'm going back down for Independence Day.
Oh.
Just to check up on my place and what have you. And also this gun situation where he wants to disarm the public. Well, once again, he's appealing to his socialist leftist voter base, which is where he gets his votes. I cannot remember the name of this show. I've talked about it on the air before. You may know it. I used to watch this show. It was a Canadian police show, and I think it was called Something Point. It was
It was a Canadian police show about a special unit of the police department that were called in when a crime was committed with a gun. You know, because you guys got gun control there anyway, so if there's a gun involved, they call in the SWAT team. And I used to watch this show. It used to crack me up that they had to call in a SWAT team every time somebody had a pistol. I mean, give me a break.
There's all kinds of crazy things going on up here. It's just unbelievable.
Yep. All right, take care. Thanks for the call from Montreal, and back to Margate soon. All right, from Montreal to Margate. Oh, man. Welcome back. Yeah, hour number 2 has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show. That's right, on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Did you see this, the new press spokesperson, Jean-Pierre? You know, I got one clip of her talking about inflation, which I'm going to play, and it shows she is just checked out and an idiot. But, you know, did they ask her about the Politico story that 21 black Biden staffers have fled working at the White House saying racial discrimination? Did Ducey ask her about that yesterday, Jean-Pierre? I missed that, if he did. But Ducey asked Jean-Pierre about inflation, and she really struggled with an answer. Listen.
Another big topic. When are you guys going to admit that you were wrong about inflation?
No easy questions today, huh?
The Treasury Secretary says that she was wrong, so why doesn't anybody here at the White House?
Okay, so look, what the Secretary was pointing out, this is talking about yesterday.
Now she's reading from her files.
With CNN is that there have been shocks to the economy that have exacerbated inflationary pressures, which couldn't have been foreseen 18 months ago, including. I'm trying to answer your question.
Let her finish reading the prepared answer, Ducey.
Why not? Including Russia's decision to invade Ukraine, multiple successive
Putin again
of COVID, and lockdowns in China.
Oh my goodness! The inflation is China's fault, Putin's fault. Where's the part where it's Biden's fault? She never gets to that. Give me a break. I tell you, everything's falling apart for these people. It's wonderful. The real woke people, the real woke crowd are conservatives, MAGA. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Come on, conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know what a joke what a joke that woman is. Every time I hear her, that's the best they can get. But anyway, you know, last night Tucker had this gentleman on from Canada, some sports guy, and he said it's like the insane running the insane asylum. You know, fentanyl kills more people in Canada than anything else, and they're going to make it legal. What kind of craziness is that?
Oh, they want to create more drug addicts. We get more drug addicts, you get more overdose deaths.
Yeah, take the guns away so they can control you. You know, and he said another thing. He said this. He says he thinks that the World Economic Forum with their Great Reset is the one who's really running Canada. They're running Australia. They're running New Zealand. And they're on the way, boy. They're trying hard, and we better make sure everybody goes and elects MAGA to fix this country. Otherwise, we're going to go down.
You know, a lot of people made a big to-do about the World Economic Forum. I like Jack Posobiec and Steve Bannon, but Jack Posobiec went over there. He had a whole crew, and they were talking. The World Economic Forum has no impact over our lives. You know, it's like they used to talk about, what was that thing with the UN, Agenda 22 or something I used to hear about all the time? You know, the World Economic Forum is where all these top, European and others like Canada, it's where they do all their political payoffs. They don't have, we've got the United States Congress that does all their payoffs, right? Their countries are too small. Their parliaments, they're not big enough to do payoffs. So they get together at the World Economic Forum, and that's when they do their payoffs. It's like when Congress passes Ukraine aid. That's all it is. The guy that runs it, his father was a Nazi. He was born in Hitler's Nazi Germany in 1938, and his father was an active Nazi. They leave that out of all the news stories.
But that's interesting. I have a friend that has been talking about this World Economic Forum and the Great Reset for a long time. I think, come on, that's nothing. But it seems like they're understanding somewhat, and if they're really running Canada and Australia and something to be...
Well, it's happening in these countries that are not, Australia, Canada, the United Kingdom. Yes, the Great Reset is happening. But those are not free countries like America. America is a free country. We have a real constitution. We have our Bill of Rights. We've got our First and Second Amendments, and that's it. And they're it's not that they're not trying. See, that's what I was talking about, this Amber Heard, Johnny Depp verdict. Why, who cares? Oh, why? Who cares? This is part of the failure of the Great Reset. The Great Reset is a gender switch where women run the world. Right now, Top Gun Maverick, #1 movie in America. And I told you this last week, and now I notice the rest of the media are catching up. The reason that Top Gun is #1 and doing so well is it was made 3 or 4 years ago, right? They made it before COVID, and they held the release till people would go back to the movie theaters. It was the last movie, Top Gun Maverick, was the last major Hollywood film made with movie stars before Hollywood went woke and casted people because of their skin color or gender and things like this. And the reason it's #1 is because that's what people... Top Gun being #1 by far, and if last weekend was big, this weekend's even going to be bigger because of the word of mouth. In fact, I'm thinking about... the only thing that may keep me from seeing Top Gun this weekend is if we have a tropical storm, But it's going to be a huge weekend because America want to see like real people and men and starring roles, not woke. Top Gun, Amber Heard, and Johnny Depp. This shows you that Hollywood wokeism has failed and is lost. And now the studios are going to try to, because Top Gun's been so successful, they're going to get back to making movies as opposed to virtual signaling films and make real movies with real men leading them. Oh, you're right. Yeah, oh yeah. They're all Hollywood does are copycats. They're out there right now, all the studios in Hollywood right now want to have the next Top Gun.
Oh yeah. Well, if that's going to be what's going to be, that's going to be great, because I'm so sick of this wokeness and you have to have gay pride parades and this and that.
Wokeism is done. Wokeism is over. The Johnny Depp verdict yesterday was the Johnny Depp verdict and Top Gun Maverick is incredible success. You know what they also did? There was a big, the original Top Gun. You've heard the stories in China for the online releases of the original Top Gun. They took the flag of Taiwan off the back of Tom Cruise's flight jacket. In Top Gun Maverick, Tom Cruise is wearing the jacket with Taiwan on it, with the Taiwanese flag on the back of it that they digitalized off for the China release of the original film. So wokeism is dead. It's over. The party's over, people. Wokeism is dead. It's over, and the country has rejected it.
I certainly rejected it. I don't know who liked it, but people seem to have liked it for a while anyway.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Conservative Doug. Take care. Now, Father's Day, just a couple short weeks away. Oh, man, Father's Day. Most important day of the year, Father's Day. No doubt about that. And, of course, the BOGO extravaganza continues at MyPillow.com. But, whatever specials you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane. And to our listeners in Canada and the United Kingdom, I was just talking to a gentleman from Montreal. Our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, works for those of you who listen to this program in the United Kingdom and in Canada as well as the United States. So whatever specials you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And, of course, there's over a dozen top MyPillow products that are available right now for buy one, get one free. Some of their biggest products. But my personal recommendations for Father's Day, of course, are the MyPillow, My Slippers, and the MyPillow bathrobe. You know, I have both the MyPillow bathrobe and the MyPillow slippers and many other MyPillow products, but the MyPillow bathrobes come in many different colors. There's two different styles, one heavy, one light. The MyPillow bathrobe, there is not a MAGA dad in America that does not want a MAGA MyPillow bathrobe, because it may not say MAGA, but I'm calling them MAGA. Mike Lindell, he's MAGA. His products are MAGA. And the MyPillow bathrobes are 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And with that bathrobe, nothing goes better with a bathrobe than a pair of the MyPillow, My Slippers. And right now, the blowout sale for the year, go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials to see this special. The MyPillow, My Slippers, I have the tan moccasin ones. I think I'm going to order another pair today because this special's about to expire, and it's always good to have a backup pair down the road. I think I'm going to get the slip-ons. I'm going to get the slip-ons this time. The regular price for the MyPillow, My Slippers, $139.98. But with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, just $49.98. I know, great Father's Day gift, certainly. $90 off the MyPillow, My Slippers. I'm going to buy myself a pair today, $49.98 with the promo code KANE, $90 off. But again, you can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code KANE. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Hi, this is Scott from Cut by Kilowatts. If you call or text me on my cell phone, I will analyze your home.
Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on.
Radiant barrier. Call me now and I'll show you how to save up to 30 to 40% on your electric bill this month and for every month from here till eternity. 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Call now, get up to 50% off, and receive an additional $500 on over 2,000 square feet of radiant barrier, an additional $1,000 off on 4,000 square feet of radiant barrier. Call or text me now, 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Or you can find me on the web at cutmykilowatts.com.
Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental is the official dentist of the Steve Kane Show. For good reason. He does great work at affordable prices. Listen to a Steve Kane listener share their experience with Dr. Gupta.
Hi, this is Tim, one of your loyal listeners, and I just want to thank you for turning me on to Dr. Gupta. I went over to him yesterday, and I had a great experience, and makes you feel very comfortable over there and has a beautiful place, and I thank you guys very much. Have a great one.
Dr. Gupta, the official dentist of the Steve Kane Show. Make Dr. Gupta the official dentist of your family. Give him a call, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. Online, BrightonDentalCare.com. Listen to the Steve Kane Show.
All right, 22 minutes after the hour. Wisconsin Gary, you're on the radio. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Brian. How are we doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Well, we're in Illinois here, ready to get fill up on fuel here. If this one guy would move forward and make my life a little bit easier, but seeing that happening so far. But, you know, I kind of want to bring up, you know, with this Johnny Depp and Amber thing, you know, if you remember, and I really don't care what the outcome was. I really don't care about Johnny Depp. But you also got to remember, like 4 years ago, he was the very same guy that threatened our very president, our 45th president. And, you know, in a way, I think the way how some things leak out about Johnny Depp, I think, you know, with Amber doing what she did on the bed, I think he probably deserved it, in my opinion. So
yeah, I mean, he made a John Wilkes Booth reference. He should have been arrested for it. I think he was in France when he did it.
Yeah, not to mention, you got to remember, Madonna also threatened to blow up the White House, too.
Oh, isn't that nice? Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's like, I've got no respect for any of these celebrities, you know. The only thing that I wondered about was the verdict, because, I mean, it was going through the YouTube live feed left and right, and I was just, until all of a sudden my wife told me about it, and then I was like, oh, good grief. So, I mean, there's always a win and there's always a not to win. I mean, look at a lot of celebrities that are happening, you know, with the shooting there in that movie. he gets away scot-free so far. It's like they're just like the Democrats. They're very untouchable.
Well, I don't think people realize, I mean, you look at what's going on, right? And I know this seems bizarre to some people, but it's true. The success of Top Gun this last week and the Johnny Depp verdict, Me Too's done. And Me Too is about 20% of the whole Democrat liberal movement in this country. And BLM has destroyed themselves with the we find out it's a real estate scam going on with all their mansions. They're done. So you've got two major activist wings of the Democrat Party, Me Too and BLM, that are done now.
Right. And hopefully they just end up being non-existent, because, I mean, that's what should happen, because a lot of that shouldn't even happen with BLM and everything else. If some states would have had the balls and the attorney general to step up and stop this nonsense, they would have never gotten that far.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our country and a lot of our great monumental buildings as well. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Wisconsin Gary, good luck to you at the gas pump. It's going to be expensive.
Yeah, I know. You too, Brian.
What's diesel going for right now up in Illinois?
Right now, diesel is at, I think it was over $5.
Oh.
$5.53 a gallon for diesel.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. All right, take care, Wisconsin Gary. Oh my goodness. Gas over $8 in California. Okay, now the first caller of the show told me there was an article from NBC News about Biden that I had to read. I'm going to read it live on the air. And NBC News, the latest mainstream media outlet to go after Biden. The headline, Inside a Biden White House That's Adrift. Oh, I love that. NBC News says the Biden White House is adrift. Faced with a worsening political predicament, Joe Biden is pressing aides for a more compelling message and a sharper strategy, while bristling at how they've tried to stifle the plain-speaking persona that has long been one of his most potent assets. Biden, plain-speaking. Biden is rattled by his sinking approval ratings and is looking to regain voters' confidence that he can provide the sure-handed leadership he promised. Crises have piled up in ways that have had at times made the Biden White House look flat-footed. Record inflation, high gas prices, a rise in COVID, and now a Texas school massacre. They left out the baby famine with the formula. That is one of the most horrific reminders that he's been unable to get Congress to pass legislation to curb gun violence. Democrat leaders are at a loss about how he can revive his prospects in November, when midterm elections may cost his party the control of the Congress. Democrat James Clyburn said, "I don't know what's required here. Whose endorsement in the 2020 Dem primaries helped rescue Biden? I do know the poll numbers have been stuck where they are for far too long." So then the next section is a West Wing shakeup. Speculation that Biden could shake up the West Wing is out there, although that's not about to happen right away. Multiple people close to the White House said they've heard that Ron Klain, the chief of staff, I know they say Klain, I say Klan, will depart at some point. His successor will be Anita Dunn. Anita Dunn is a communist. If you remember, I can't remember what job she had. Anita Dunn worked in the Obama administration. I cannot remember what her position was. And she was a supporter of Marxism. Remember she used to talk about Mao? Oh, that's a great pick. Yeah. Put a Marxist in there, Biden. She'll fix us. You know, this is so typical of Democrats. This was the same way with Obama. When they're losing, they don't think that the American people are pissed off at them because they're failures. Nothing's their fault. This is Putin's price hikes. Putin's pump prices, whatever, you know. Trying to get a lot of peas in there. They're trying to blame Putin for everything. No one buys that. And they think at the White House the reason that they're doing so poorly in the polls is because of messaging. It's because of messaging. Do you know what Biden could do so far as a reshuffle? at the White House that would help everything that's going on in this country? Announcing he will not seek re-election. That would be a boost to the economy. You know, a lot of the economy is based on a lot of things, but if the party in office is not going to run for re-election, that would tell the stock market, Wall Street, whatever the phrases they use, that Republicans were coming back in for sure in 2024. And if Biden really wanted to fix things, he would announce he's not running for re-election. And that, by the way, goes for Kamala Harris, too. But they're not going to do that. See, you know, nothing's his fault. It's someone else's fault. If we get a new chief of staff, if we get a new press secretary, if we get the messaging going on, then people will be back on our side. No, people want action. You know, President Trump changed a lot of things. And one of the things that President Trump changed was the expectation that the American people have for our presidents and all of our elected officials. And what people expect because of Donald Trump, people expect results, right? Like when the media went out there and said there weren't enough respirators, what did Trump do? He got together with leaders in industry and had them turn their factories into respirator factories. Remember this? Boom. If this baby formula crisis were going on and Trump were in the White House, he would have the baby formula company heads come to the White House and meet with the heads of other companies that can switch their plants into baby formula factories. People that, you know, I don't know, people that do canning and things like this with different products could switch to baby formula. That's what Trump would do. What is one action that Biden has done to fix any problem? All they do is get briefed. Like I saw yesterday, they were having a briefing at the White House on inflation, I saw yesterday or the day before. Well, briefing, for all I know, briefing is turning on the news for 5 minutes and listening to Bartiromo on Fox Business talk about it. You're briefed. Getting briefed doesn't fix anything. People want you to come out and do something to fix the problem. And they're not fixing any of the problems. Okay? They're sending another 700 and something million to Ukraine. Here we have a tropical storm heading towards Florida, and people cannot afford to fill up their family vehicles with gas because gas is so expensive. And our prices in Florida are nowhere near the highest prices around America. You know, they're talking about tax increases, producing fewer barrels of oil a day, and all this other garbage. People need relief in this country. Instead of sending $81 billion and now another $700 million to Ukraine, suspend the gas tax. How about that? So that would immediately lower the price of a gallon of gas, which would lower the price of everything, because gasoline is needed to train. We just heard from Wisconsin Gary. He's a truck driver. He drives an 18-wheeler. He's about to fill up. You take off the gas tax, that gallon of gas is going to drop dramatically. That means the cost of him transporting goods in his 18-wheeler has dropped dramatically. Trickle-down economics. It's called capitalism. It works. All right. Coming up on 33 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning, it is a beautiful day. The calm before the storm as that weather is moving towards Florida. But it's beautiful today. Enjoy it, people. It's going to be a wet one all weekend. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this. On the line, we have John Kaplan. He's Director of Neuropathy and CFO of Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. You've heard us talk about the Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. They've done miracles with Steve Kane and his neuropathy, and now John's going to tell us a little more detail about the treatments that they offer for neuropathy and the Lighthouse Medical Center. John, welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Welcome, everyone. Make sure you subscribe and like the video, everyone, if you have not already.
Well, neuropathy is almost always a circulation issue. So,
oh, yes.
Good circulation to
I'm going to talk about this when we get back. Durham's with the swamp. I mean, that's just a fact. We're going to get to that when we get back.
To the extremities, that causes a wide range of symptoms for patients. It could be
Now I have hat head.
issues, pain, numbness, tingling, and a range of other symptoms as well. A lot of patients don't even realize they have peripheral neuropathy or they've never been diagnosed with it, but they do know that they have the symptoms and wonder what that treatment would be to get that better.
Now, John, I have heard for years that people that have neuropathy, there's no treatment. You just got to learn to live with it. But that's not the case, is it?
No, sir, that's not
I
the
just wanted to
case.
see what was going on.
With the way technology
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, good. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Ways of treating neuropathy and improving
Okay.
patients' symptoms.
All right, talk to you
and
later.
reversing
Bye.
the neuropathy symptoms that they have. We're a part of over 650 doctors across the U.S. who are all board certified.
I was calling Steve. Steve and I have 2 meetings to go to today, so I was seeing where he was schedule-wise. Well, thank you, Christine.
That has really changed the game.
Yeah, this hat, Gary in Coral Springs, who's one of my Patreon supporters, sent me this hat. This is a good hat, isn't it? I like this hat.
Going to mask the symptoms, not going to fix the problem. You don't increase circulation and fix.
Make America Florida. Trump DeSantis 24.
Fix neuropathy. So we have come up with
It's a little big on my head because I got that haircut. I didn't quite make it tight anymore.
Depending on what their cause is and how long they've had neuropathy, we put that detailed care plan together for them based on what their symptoms are as well. And then we implement that over a 6-month treatment program that they do the majority of therapy at home.
I go to, is that the Wawa on Hillsboro? I go there all the time. It's right down the street from the radio station.
Somewhere else. Maybe they're out of town, maybe they're out of state, or maybe just in another part of Florida. Can you at Lighthouse Medical Center help them with their neuropathy?
Absolutely. I know you guys have a wide range of listeners across the country and across the world. We do telehealth medicine where we're able to meet patients over the phone or the internet, do a telehealth exam, and then send them their home therapy treatment kit for us to monitor and then to allow them to do their therapy at home and do the telehealth visits over the phone or online. That allows us to be in contact with those patients who are not here in South Florida.
Now, after someone begins treatment for their neuropathy, how soon can they expect to start to see an improvement?
Well, you know, Brian, one of the main symptoms that most neuropathy patients see is a lack of sleep because their neuropathy bothers them at nighttime. That's one of the first symptoms to get better in the first week or two for most patients. Also, the numbness, tingling, and the lack of feeling in the feet, they will notice a difference in the first couple weeks. Some patients as soon as the next day, but usually about a week or so is when the first...
Johnny Depp 1 got $8 million she's got to pay him.
Treatment on a Friday. I talked to him on a Monday, the Monday right after, and he already told me that there was just a massive improvement. It's been a huge change in his life. Now, John, Lighthouse Medical Center, this is amazing, has been in practice with the same family right here in Pompano for 75 years. That is amazing.
Yeah, Brian, we're really excited. This is our 75th anniversary, 3 generations of doctors here at Lighthouse Medical Center. We've been here for a long time. We've helped so many people, and that's just our passion, is to continue to help the community. We've now expanded beyond just here in the Fort Lauderdale area, see patients from all over the country via the telehealth, and we've had patients even as far as Canada come specifically to see us for their neuropathy issues.
If you are suffering with neuropathy, or maybe a loved one is, someone you know is, your husband, your wife, mom, dad, call the Lighthouse Medical Center. It's a free consultation. If you mention you heard them on the Steve Kane Show, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, well, John, thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Brian. Have a good day.
The Steve Kane Show.
All right, we're coming back, guys.
At the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, 38 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. And, of course, this year celebrating 45 years on the radio, the Steve Kane Show. All right, now, you know, this Sussman verdict, not guilty verdict, this is disgusting. He was guilty as hell, just like O.J. Okay, this guy was guilty as hell. And then when I started reading the story in detail, I guess I was blinded by my hope that John Durham was going to do the right thing and was a good guy. And I believe that Sussman was acquitted of these charges as part of Durham's plan. Sussman would and I was reading a story this morning. This really pissed me off. That's why I'm bringing this up. Barr says Durham accomplished something far more important than the Sussman conviction. And what they're trying to sell us now is that better than the conviction, we got out all the truth. Really? Where's it being reported? Are you kidding? What we found with Sussman is Sussman didn't just lie to the FBI, that he was an operative for Hillary Clinton who was not just involved in that fake Russia bank crap, but that Sussman and the Clintons were involved in a treasonous activity, which was working with a White House IT company spying on communications inside the Oval Office. President Trump in the Wyoming rally this past weekend said they were spying on him in his office. Durham brought him to trial not for any of that espionage, which you should be getting life sentences for, but brought him to trial on lying to the FBI. And then when I read the details after the acquittal, I realized that Durham is compromised. He's part of the swamp, and this turned out like Durham wanted and Durham planned. So the specific charge they brought up to the court with Sussman, lying to the FBI, was about that text message to the FBI chief counsel. And what the defense argued to the jury, even though if Sussman would have confessed, they would have gotten acquittal from a jury filled with Clinton donors and AOC donors, but they didn't charge. They charged him with lying to the FBI, but the case was about lying to an attorney who works for the FBI. Does that make sense? He lied, according to the evidence that was presented, not to an FBI agent. He lied to an attorney who works for the FBI. And that's what they used as the acquittal. Now, Durham is a legal expert. I don't know any. I'm not a legal expert. I'm not an attorney. And he's supposed to be a top-tier attorney. Durham had to know he was not going to get a conviction before he even filed charges against Sussman. This is to make it look like he did something and he lost, and to still support him and everything that he's doing. Durham is part of the swamp. Durham, this was a big setup. Make no mistake about it. And we're not going to get anything from Durham. Nothing. This was it. And Durham threw in the towel on. Durham set this whole thing up for an acquittal. That's it. It's the reality, and it's a fact. I mean, just look at the stories. How did Durham not... Lying to an attorney is not a crime. Lying to an FBI agent is. He did not lie to an FBI agent. At least not in the case that they presented to the court. So that's what they did. That's why I don't trust this guy. I'll never trust Durham. I had a lot of hope in this guy because we don't have much hope out of Washington. So we have Durham out there, and all of MAGA pretty much had hope with Durham, and now you know what Durham did? He blew his cover. He's like a Donnie Brasco. He's an undercover swamp creature pretending to be upholding the law, and he's part of the problem because he's the swamp. All right, let me give out the number. Our number, toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Joy Reid is a disgusting person over on MSNBC. There's no getting around it. Everything with her is race. No matter what happens, it's racial discrimination. Okay, and she's talking this week about the Uvalde, Texas school shooting. And yesterday I had a story. The school shooter, his entire family are criminals. His mother, his father, and even his grandmother that he shot in the face have all led a life of crime. And they all got away with their crimes. Very little punishment. So that's, the shooter, it's where everyone who raised him is a lifelong criminal. That's why what happened. But Joy Reid is blaming the deaths inside the classroom on racism. Yeah, everything is racism to her. Listen to this. This is Joy Reid.
If this is in wealthy communities, it don't take 11 minutes. You got your sirens on, you're motoring down, and it took that long to even respond at all. That got me very concerned.
Joy, I had a conversation with a senator, a state senator there, and basically what you're echoing was what he shared with me, that had it been in a different part of town, it wouldn't have taken so long, and there wouldn't have been such a long response rate. One likes to feel that is not happening, but sadly, when you start looking at the statistics, when you start looking at the response rate, so the utter failure of that police department, you do have to start to take a step back and question, what did race play into it? And at the end of the day, these are children and families who are suffering, and our job first is to help grieve with them, but then also make sure that Texas takes charge of their state.
Okay, if this was in another part of town, this wouldn't have happened. What part of Uvalde is not Hispanic? Right? And she's saying racism. The police chief that ordered the 19 officers not to go in the classroom is Hispanic. And all the kids in the class were Hispanic. What is he, self-hating Hispanic? How is this racism? And they arrived at the school, even though when they got there, they just hung out and started harassing parents. The first officers arrived 3 minutes. Not that 11 minutes is a long time if they're far away, but 3 minutes was the response time, not 11. I don't know where she's getting 11. But how is it racism when the chief of police that was inside the school that ordered the officers not to go in is Hispanic, and everyone inside is Hispanic? The police chief that caused those deaths, he was sworn into the city council. He was elected to the city council with 70% of the vote. And 2 days ago, the mayor of Uvalde swore the chief into office for the city council seat. And I was watching someone in the news talk about this. They said, well, the mayor did what he had to do. He's required to swear him in. No, he's not. Would you have, I don't care that he got 70% of the vote, would you have sworn in that police chief to that council? They'd have to find someone else to do it. I wouldn't do it. Not only that, the mayor, not only should he have refused to swear him in, he should be calling for his termination from the police chief position and also being removed from the city council before he even takes the seat. This happened. Remember when the Democrats? Remember with the scandal with Blagojevich, when Obama became president and his Senate seat, I can't remember the name of the guy now. The Senate seat was open, and Blagojevich was he went to prison, so he was convicted. He took bribes to appoint this guy to the Senate seat. Remember this? I can't remember his name. It was very controversial. And they were saying in Washington they weren't going to swear him in. Remember this? They weren't going to swear him in. I can't remember. Did they swear him in or not? It was very controversial. And the media were all behind it. Even though the governor appointed him, they said no. They didn't approve of him. They didn't approve of it. They wouldn't swear him in. Remember this? This police chief, that mayor is a scumbag. And you know that Uvalde Police Department is not cooperating with the investigators from the government that are investigating the school shooting. They're not cooperating. When have you ever heard of police officers not cooperating with other police officers unless it's a corrupt department? It's disgusting what's going on. Listen, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. And it is 48 minutes after the hour. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a
Well,
button?
call me on the air, guys, about Durham. If you want to defend Durham and I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong about Durham. I really would. So,
Pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare
Steve Kane Show.
applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate
Hold on.
clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now, online at iwilladvocates.com, or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Saddlefoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals.
Durham
any tire.
is a snake. He's the snake in Trump's poem.
My number is 954-977.
He charged him with lying to a lawyer, not an FBI agent.
Over the phone.
Big difference.
Tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
I mean, maybe if that's the case, maybe the verdict was right. You know what I mean? Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Vincent. I'm calling from Chicago.
Yeah.
I believe the name you're trying to remember is Rob Blagojevich.
No, not Blagojevich. The guy that he appointed to the Senate seat that Obama held, and the Democrats wouldn't swear him in because.
I'm sorry to waste your time, sir.
You're not wasting my time. I thought maybe you're in Chicago. Do you remember who I'm talking about?
But to tell you the truth, I don't.
You don't remember?
Because there was talk about Rob becoming the senator.
Yeah, you know, Blagojevich is he was on the Celebrity Apprentice with Donald Trump. He was very good on the Celebrity Apprentice. This is when he was it was pretty, and he's a very funny guy. I remember President Trump flew him to Florida for a task on the Celebrity Apprentice, and Trump says to Blagojevich, he says, Blagojevich, it's Blagojevich, right? He says, can you fly to Florida? And he says, well, is the plane leaving the country? Trump said no. And he says, well, then I can go. It was pretty funny. Pretty funny. All right, yeah.
I know he had a talk show here in Chicago for a while, and he was not anti-Trump.
No, in fact, I see him on Newsmax from time to time. Blagojevich, he's very good. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Yeah, the name of that senator, I cannot remember his name to save my life. He was black, and the Democrats wouldn't swear him in. It's not important. We don't need his name for the story. You guys get it. All right, our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I wanted to play this audio. This is really, frightening. People save up their entire lives to send their children to college. They raise their kids right, and they send them to college, and these college professors, these left-wing, lunatic, radical college professors, they brainwash people's children. They come back home liberals. Sometimes you'll see Jews will send their kids off to some liberal college. They're all excited. They're going to New York University. They're going to Harvard. They're going to Yale. They come back home to their Jewish parents after one semester, and all of a sudden, they're anti-Israel, siding with the Palestinians. This happens. This happens. People will tell you. You've seen this. If you're in Florida, you've seen this. It happens. Well, Boston University is the university that educated AOC. Yeah, they did a good job on her, huh? She was probably a commie before she went there. But one of the professors of Boston University released a video talking about black violence in this country. Listen to this. This is insane. Listen to this. This is a professor from Boston University who calls AOC among their honored alumni. Listen to this.
If we're going to talk about George Floyd and really understand it, then we need to understand community reactions to it, and we often hear politicians.
Okay, now community reactions mean riots, looting, burning businesses down, things like this.
We need to understand community reactions to it, and we often hear politicians, we hear civic leaders from inside black communities and from outside of them as well. We
Steve
hear
Kane
President
Show.
Biden say, I understand your
Hey, Barry, hold on.
frustrations, but don't destroy property. Well, when you say that to black people who historically have been property, one of our greatest weapons against injustice was the looting of ourselves as property from the system of slavery. And what we see in communities is they're reacting to the very racism of what we call property.
Okay, so she's justifying looting, burning of cities, and violence. That's how you do it. That's professor of Boston University. Freedom of speech does have some limitations. You do not have the freedom to incite violence. And that's what she's doing. This Boston University professor is inciting violence and justifying the violent activity as well. All right, well, now it is time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Good morning, Attorney Barry Siegel. What do you have for us today?
Hey, good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, one of the things we hear on basically a daily basis is when people finish up the process of signing their legal documents, getting their estate plan put in place, I hear things like, this is such a relief, this is something we've been meaning to do for a long time, and they're expressing that they're gaining peace of mind. Now, just getting these documents done alone is not really what it is, because you can go get them done online for very little, but you really know what it is that you have. So when people go somewhere where they know that it's being done correctly, going to a law firm where this is all they do is planning for people just like this, then that sense of relief and peace of mind is really there. So we hear that all the time, that people are gaining peace of mind. That's really, what we strive for, to provide protection
Canadian, you're
for our
dreaming.
loved ones and peace of mind.
That's not even how you spell RICO. Yeah, and those of you that have been to Attorney Barry Siegel's workshops, one of the things that you do, Barry, is you go through a lot of the situations and scenarios that you've seen over your years in practice with different clients. And, people go to Susie Ormond and all these people, and they think they're all taken care of, and they may be making things worse and taking care of nothing. Because all kinds of crazy things can happen. But whatever can happen at that point, the Siegel Law Group has seen it, and they know how to make things go the way you want them to go. Now listen, it is a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Barry on the radio. And he has offices throughout South Florida, Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade County. But no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help you. You can find them online at siegellawgroup.com or give them a call, toll free, 855 FLA 3782, 855 FLA 3782. Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow.
All right, Brian.
All right, take care. Those of you on hold, stand by. I want to get back to this audio. I'm going to start it over because there's a point or two that I did not make I want to make, and I want to play the whole thing. I only played part of it. This is a Boston University professor justifying African Americans looting and committing violence throughout America.
If we're going to talk about George Floyd and really understand it, then we need to understand community reactions to it. And we often hear politicians, we hear civic leaders from inside black communities and from outside of them as well. We hear President Biden say, I understand your frustrations, but don't destroy property. Well, when you say that to black people who historically have been property. One of our greatest weapons against injustice was the looting of ourselves as property from the system of slavery.
Okay, now this part here, now she's justifying violence, she's justifying looting, she's justifying arson. And then this professor, she says that they looted themselves free from slavery. Blacks did not free themselves from slavery. See, this is you get all this revisionist history from our colleges, from our university system. The slaves were freed by the Republican Party of Abraham Lincoln in the Civil War. Slaves did not rise up like Spartacus and have a revolt and free themselves. That's just a liberal urban legend or a lie.
To say that to black people who historically have been property, one of our greatest weapons against injustice was the looting of ourselves as property from the system of slavery. And what we see in communities is they're reacting to the very racism of what we call property, right? So that's why I think it's very important for, people who see reactions in communities to not judge and to not make assumptions about what is good and not good reactions, and not actually re-victimize communities by saying there's an acceptable and a not acceptable way to react. Listen to them, and then we can say what these communities need.
No, don't re-victimize. So what she's saying is, if you tell people that are black, that they can't loot, commit arson, and do all this other stuff, you're re-victimizing them. This thing with George Floyd was a tragedy. Everything about it was a tragedy. But it's not systemic racism that they're talking about. If you believe that the police were guilty of murdering George Floyd, well, the system worked. The justice system worked. The cop was arrested, tried, and convicted. That's the system working. Back in the Democrat-controlled Jim Crow segregation era that Joe Biden was brought up in, okay, with his racist segregationist senators that took them under his wing when he first went to Washington, if a police officer did to a black man what happened to George Floyd, they wouldn't be arrested or anything. Nobody would even know about it. All right? So the convictions of the cops, that's not an example of racism. That's an example of we're past that period and the system works. But you got these college professors that are, brainwashing your children. All right, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
This is the Talk of South Florida, 95.3, 96.9, AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG Live station.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Stacy from Deerfield Beach. This is in reference to Champaign Automotive. I went over there. They're wonderful. I have a Kia Optima Eco Hybrid. When I called, it needed service. I didn't want to bring it to the dealership because they would charge me through the roof. And basically, when I did call, they said bring it in the next day. He's amazing. He did everything. He didn't overcharge me. He went through my car, and I would recommend anybody to go to him. He's absolutely amazing.
Well, Champaign Automotive Repair in Boca, they do great work, and I want to thank you for calling. And I learned something about Champaign Automotive Repair from you in this call. I did not know that they actually did repairs on hybrid vehicles.
What had happened was, when I brought it to the dealership, they were like, well, we want to do this, we want to do that. And when I heard about Champaign Automotive, I called. When I got
Steve
there,
Kane Show.
I said, he goes, well...
Oh, hey, Nick, hold on. Nick in Baltimore.
To take me back home, and so he ordered Uber for me.
Wow.
Yes.
That's service. Thank you for the call as well. And anyone else out there, Champaign Automotive Repair, their prices are great. They'll never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. Their number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And what's your name, caller?
My name is Stacy, and thank you very much, Champaign Automotive. And thank you very much, Brian and Steve.
For Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642 or online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in Florida, on the air since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the air. Now, Steve Kane with Brian Craig.
All right, guys, the third hour has begun. I'm Brian. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. Steve will be back with us tomorrow. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Nick in Baltimore, Maryland. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Doing all right.
You know, you played you played that clip of that lady talking about the victimization. You know who started all this stuff? It was one of our former mayors, Stephanie Rawlings Blake.
Oh.
Let them go out and destroy and do whatever, vent their anger, and then they burn the city down.
Well, you know, a lot of Democrats, they like it for a couple reasons. One, it satisfies a large point of their base, and then when those Democrats come in and loot a city, then all the county officials get their payoffs when that city has to be rebuilt. It's true. I mean, it's a big racket they got going on.
But see, most people are not like that. If you were to speak to me, I know a lot of people in town, and I used to, of course, I used to work for the government. And of course, we know the government is, 90% of the government is African American, workers over there.
Well, I work for the government too, in the form of taxation. At least for about 4 months of the year, I work for the government.
We all do that.
Yeah.
That you'll find that most people are law-abiding and conservative, believe it or not. It's this militant element that comes out and
yeah, but this is the thing. This college professor should be fired. You cannot come out and tell students, and she released the video publicly, that it's okay to loot and burn places down. And
insurrection and
correct. That's exactly what it is. It's intimidating government to bend to your will, or you'll burn the place down.
Yeah, I'm old enough. I remember the '68 riots, and it was the same thing. They pulled the same thing.
Mm-hmm. That's how they are.
Threatened. They got on television, and once you give a bunch of tyrants power, don't care what nationality or whatever, a tyrant's a tyrant, and you give somebody power, that's got to stop, because we're all suffering and people are dying, and they're not addressing real issues.
Well, yeah, and Joe Rogan, who has, and this is crazy thing for people that this doesn't really sink into people. Joe Rogan has more people that listen to him than ever listen to Rush. And that's crazy. And and Joe Rogan this week was talking about what a bad idea this gun control is. He says once they take a right away, they never give it back. And Joe Rogan's been talking against gun control this week, and he is reaching, because he has a younger audience. See, this is one of the other problems that the left have. They've lost the youth vote a lot because people like Joe Rogan they have access to are with a younger audience are talking about very conservative things like the support of the Second Amendment and why it's important. And and that's reaching a part of the Democrat base that they've taken for granted, which is the youth.
Why? Well, he's right. And why should we be punished for criminals who break the law? You know, this kid, the kid down there in Florida, right? The Parkland shooter, the guy in Texas, and the kid up in Buffalo. You know, what's next? Are they going to ban butter knives? Because he can kill somebody with a butter.
Well, you know, everything that yeah. And remember, OJ used a knife.
Let's ban cars.
You know, if you look at the two most recent high-profile shootings, which of course are Parkland and Uvalde, it's a failure of the government. And the shooter in Uvalde, like the shooter in Parkland, both had threatened to shoot people at school years before the shootings, and the school not the police, the school district brushed it under the rug because same thing in Uvalde. We're finding out. So yeah.
Here's the other issue, Brian, and I'll wrap it up with this: where did this kid get the money to buy all this ammo and the paraphernalia? Where did this kid in Buffalo get that kind of money?
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe he used a credit card and bought it on a credit card, and he had a credit card with a $5,000 limit. The kid in Uvalde, I don't know.
But I mean, what's going on in that family?
Well, I had a story yesterday that I went through. Everyone in his family have led a life of crime. His mom, his father, and his grandmother that he shot all have lived a life of crime, and even violent crime in the case of his father. So he comes from a criminal family. He was raised by criminals who got away with their crimes with little or no punishment. Yeah, it's not that his parents, I don't know, I think his parents may not be married. That's not the problem. He came from a crime family. That's it. He was raised by criminals. He did not have one law-abiding person raise him.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on in this country. I mean, there's a shooting in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The hospital shooting, yeah.
It's on and on,
Yeah, that's right. All right, take care. Nick in Baltimore, thanks for the care. Call. This story, I read this story this morning. Listen to this. John Hinckley... This is crazy. John Hinckley, who shot President Reagan, is going to be fully released from any type of supervision on June 15th. Federal court's doing this. They released him from prison years ago, and he's had, some restrictions, like he's on parole or something. John Hinckley, he shot President Reagan. He killed... Did he not kill the Secret Service officer that was with President Reagan? It's been a long time. I remember the day Reagan was shot. I was in 4th grade. And he shot Brady. And Brady, this thing about James Brady, who's no longer with us, when James Brady, who they did a whole, he was President Reagan's White House press person, and he was shot and just severely injured, and they did a whole a gun control campaign around him, right? The Brady campaign is named after James Brady. But when James Brady died, his family said that he died due to complications from his wounds from the day John Hinckley shot him in the head in 1981. Can't they go back and charge him with murder? If you shoot, there's no statute of limitations on murder. Why can't they go after him on that murder charge on Brady now? Let me ask you that. I mean, John Hinckley obviously was a lunatic, but he shot the president. Remember, he said he did it for Jodie Foster. If Jodie Foster only would have come out of the closet years earlier, John Hinckley may have fallen out of love with her and may not have done it, right? Do you think if John Hinckley had shot a Democrat and not a Republican, do you think he'd be going free right now? He fancies himself a musician, and he has a show this month at a local bar in New York City. Are you kidding me? Who the hell would go and pay for that? People are buying tickets. It's like a sold-out event. Democrats. You know, I tell you, Democrats are just a twisted bunch of people, no doubt about that. Now, the most important day of the year is just a couple short weeks away, and of course I'm talking about, when I say the most important day of the year, you know what I'm talking about, Father's Day. What day of the year is more important than Father's Day? I say none of them. And when it comes to doing your Father's Day gift shopping, and you want to give Dad something that I know he will love, not only that he'll love, but he'll keep for many, many years, these are the great items at MyPillow.com. Now, all the specials that you see at MyPillow.com, take advantage of all of them with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. The BOGO Extravaganza sale continues. There are over a dozen of the most popular MyPillow items that are available at buy one, get one free. The towel set, the sheet set, the pillows, a lot of other things too. Buy one, get one free with the promo code KANE. But when it comes to shopping for Father's Day, there's two items that every MAGA dad would love. One, the MyPillow bathrobe. It comes in multiple styles, a lighter robe, a heavier robe, many different colors, 30% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. There's not a MAGA dad in America that would not be honored to have that MyPillow bathrobe. I have one. They're great. And the MyPillow My Slippers to go along with it. Dad would love that too. And they're having the blowout sale of the year on the MyPillow My Slippers. The regular price on the My Slippers, $139.98. But with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, just $49.98. That's $90 off. That's right, just $49.98. Now, when you go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials to see that slipper offer. It's a great deal. I'm going to buy myself another pair of them actually today. I'm going to get the slip-ons. I have the tan moccasin ones now. I'm going to get the tan slip-on My Slippers. They're just $49.98. $90 off. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
My name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642 or online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983, 906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Search for WWNN.
All right, 18 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You know, Biden, he's sneaking through this student loan debt cancellation. They say $6 billion. You know, there's a lot of reasons why people get ticked off about canceling the student loan debt. And, you know, because people have all kinds of debt. Why just the student loan debt? Why not mortgage debt? Why not car loan debt? Why not credit card debt? How many people have crushed by credit card debt? That, you know, the high end, they can never pay off their credit cards. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I don't have any credit card debt, but I used to. And it was awful. You know, it was awful. And not having credit card debt is definitely a liberating feeling. And you know, this thing, though, about the student loan debt. The reason they're paying off student loan debt and not any other debts is they want to try to get the youth vote back. I mean, that's what it is. But people get pissed off about this because, I mean, who are the students that have the huge debt that they're griping about all the time? It's the students who go, see what happens with, and I know some of you know kids that have done this. You may have done this yourself. A lot of people go to college, and because of student loans that they can get, that they don't have to pay back for years, and to them, you know, because they're young, that's like an eternity. What do? They take it as a vacation. They take whatever the minimum classes, they have to take 3-4 classes a week. They live in the dorms, and they pay for nothing. The student loans pay for their schooling, pays for their dorm, pays for their food. They even get extra money for living expenses and buying computers and everything else. And they use it as 4, some of them 6 years or more, however long they can stretch it out, to just be on a vacation at the college doing what it is college kids do. Then they get out of college and they want you to pay off their debt. That's insane. You know, most college degrees are not worth anything. Nothing, right? All these different programs and majors that people get, they're useless. Okay? And you know what I'm talking about. You get a degree in women's studies, British literature, all these things. What does that do? Does it prepare you for a job? No. It prepares you to work at Old Navy. You know, that's what it prepares you for. The Gap, if that's still around after COVID. You know? And so they can't get a job to pay back their student loans even if they wanted to. And they've racked up a whole bunch of debt because they spent 4 or 6 years just partying, taking out as many loans as they could get. You know, and even though when someone has a degree in women's studies that is completely useless, the reason that a college degree has some value is that it shows that you went the extra mile and went and worked hard and earned something above and beyond. But that's not the case now, right? If you're going to pay off the debt, you didn't work for anything, you didn't earn anything. And that's why it ticks people off. And it's so amazing to me when you look at what the left are pushing for today, right? Not just gun control, right? Drug legalization we were talking about earlier. Pay off student loan debt. It's okay to loot and burn your city, to burn your town down. I mean, these people have lost their minds. And this story about some... Really? I hope that's still not happening. Okay. I got a text message from somebody that they heard something on the air. Everything that they're doing is desperation. Okay? They're losing on every front. So what the Democrats are trying to do is throw everything out there that they possibly can to bring back one more supporter. Like there's a guy, there's a lunatic Democrat. He's running against Rand Paul in Kentucky for the Senate seat. And he put out a campaign ad with a noose around his neck. because Rand Paul will not vote for an anti-lynching bill, the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill. Is there a problem with lynching going on? Is there an epidemic of I know the Democrats were lynching people 60, 70 years ago all over the place, but is that a thing today? Why would you need to pass anti-lynching legislation now? Why would you need to do that? Why would you even consider doing such a thing? What would be the point? Right? You know? So Rand Paul's not voting for it. Okay, you know, whatever. I don't know. I would probably vote for it. Why not? You know, who's it going to affect? And now this guy's running around campaigning with a noose around his neck. I'm not kidding. You can look it up. I got a story somewhere about it. Let me see if I can get his name. He released a campaign ad with the noose around his neck. When I first heard about this, I thought, there's no way. This doesn't make, that's insane. Who would do such a thing? And then I saw the picture of it. Let me read this to you. This is crazy what's going on. Rand Paul's Democratic opponent in the Kentucky Senate race wears a noose around his neck to slam Rand Paul for voting against the anti-lynching bill. Former Kentucky state lawmaker Charles Booker became the first African American to win the Democratic primary for the U.S. Senate in Kentucky last month. His shocking new ad includes significant portions of himself speaking directly into the camera while wearing a noose. What is this? Who's managing his campaign? Jussie Smollett? Booker goes after Rand Paul for comparing the universal right to basic health care to slavery in his 2020 opposition to anti-lynching legislation. Paul was among the co-sponsors of a recent anti-lynching bill that passed. Okay, so he sponsored the, I don't know, very confusing, but you know, the Democrats. So this guy's walking around with a noose around his neck like Jussie Smollett. Are you kidding me? You know, this is worse than the college professor earlier. But you know, hey, listen, this is the world in which we now live, people. You know, Democrats are desperate because not only have they lost the youth vote, so they're doing the student loan thing. They've lost the youth vote. I was talking about Joe Rogan earlier, but they've lost huge amounts of the black vote. And what's happened is, you know, we finally have gotten to a point where it's you know, there's economic equality now between everyone of every different background in this country, including African Americans. And when people become middle class and upper middle class, they become homeowners, they start paying taxes for the first time, income taxes, not just the regular taxes, but income taxes. And when people start becoming homeowners and work hard for that and start paying income taxes, they become Republican real quick. So the Democrats have lost huge chunks of the black vote for many, many reasons. Trump coming down the escalator was a big part of it. But one of the factors is the economic equality we have among blacks has caused blacks, they don't want to pay for a bunch of freeloaders. It's caused blacks to become Republicans. So you've got them pulling stunts like this guy with the noose around his neck. All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It is a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. Steve Kane will be back with us tomorrow. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Anthony. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Anthony in Pennsylvania. What's on your mind, Anthony?
Well, I just wanted to comment on something you said earlier about messaging. The Democrats, all they care about is messaging. They don't care about fixing people's problems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it's hard to believe that with a hurricane coming to Florida, like you said, Biden is not focused on anything other than sending money to Ukraine and messaging. There's no messaging that's going to fix when you show up to a gas pump and there's a sticker there and you know, in the F word, and then the gas prices.
You know, I was up at Mar-a-Lago on Saturday, and I made a YouTube video about it if you haven't seen it. And I went and got gas at the gas station down the street from Mar-a-Lago, right? The gas station closest to Mar-a-Lago. Like if Trump and Melania went to the gas station, this is where they'd go. And what was there? A Biden sticker on the gas pump. Say, I did this, pointing to the price. You know, this is the thing. When I talk about the Democrats and messaging, like right now, gun control. The Democrats do not want to have gun control. Because if we had we want to stop them. We don't want them to gain any ground. If they get gun control, they lose that issue. The Democrats don't want to fix anything. You understand? They don't want to fix anything because then because they always want to be the solution to all these problems that are never fixed. That's why they never fix anything.
And they're not even that good at messaging. Did you know it took them 6 months to come up with Ultra MAGA? And then they spent probably hundreds of thousands in committees and all kinds of things to say, Ultra MAGA is going to be really damaging to...
No, they did. That's true. No, they hired a firm to research some type of marketing they could use to bring down MAGA, and they paid them hundreds of thousands of dollars. This was reported about 2-3 weeks ago, and they came up with Ultra MAGA. And look what's happened. We've taken that. I got a T-shirt that says Ultra MAGA on it. I mean, come on.
And the thing is, any Democrats that are listening, do you really want to be part of a party that is not focused on any solutions, just messaging? I mean, messaging isn't going to pay your gas. Isn't going to pay. Up here, we use heating, and heating oil is almost $6 a gallon. I mean, some people are,
Well, I was talking to a caller at the beginning of the show. We have I don't think we're going to get a hurricane in Florida, but we got a tropical storm, and tropical storm's not fun. Okay, you get hurricane force winds in a tropical storm. Okay. And usually what happens, today's Thursday, we're going to start getting bad weather today, tomorrow. Today and tomorrow, typically, there will be gas stations would run out of gas because people load up on gas when there's a storm coming. We have generators in Florida in case we lose electricity. And I have 8 5-gallon drums that are empty in my garage. And I go to the gas station when there's a storm coming. I fill up my car, and usually I worry people in Florida are not going to do the hurricane prep that they normally would do because gas is so high. And not only that, things like bottled water start to go out of stock. People go to, like a day like today, and because today's Thursday, so today and tomorrow, typically, with a storm like this, people here in Florida would go to the grocery stores and load up on everything. I don't think they're going to do that right now because the prices are too high to properly prepare for what might be a hurricane. People won't do because of Biden.
Yeah, but don't worry, we're helping Ukraine with their problems,
Well, everyone knows that they're sending another $700 million to Ukraine now, on top of the $81 billion.
Right. Forget about Florida and the hurricane. Forget everything. Just send it to them. But I just got a letter in the mail from my electric provider up here, West Bend Power, and they said that they were going to be upping my bill starting March. I think it was. I don't know if it was March but in a few months they were going to be upping my bill 43% because of the rising cost of electricity or cost for.
Well, there's a story at the Gateway Pundit. It's a gas station, a Chevron in L.A. The regular unleaded, $8.05 a gallon. Diesel, $9.19 a gallon for diesel in this LA Chevron. $8.05, and that, by the way, that's for the cheapest gas is $8.05. That's not even super.
Yeah, I mean that. But don't worry, messaging is going to fix it. Yeah, it's nuts, and I really hope that coming midterms we.
Yeah, we've got to. We've got to. Yeah, we've got to. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Great caller from Illinois. All right. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's a toll-free call from anywhere, 1-888-465-2631. Now, you guys have been hearing Steve talk about how Lighthouse Medical Center rid him of neuropathy. And we found out this week, I did not know this. Maybe Steve knew, I did not know this. But Lighthouse Medical Center treats a lot more than just neuropathy. We focus on neuropathy. Well, they have an effective treatment. Steve had neuropathy so bad it was a disability. I mean, he was bedridden. And, whatever sign and symptom there is of neuropathy, he had it. So we sought out someplace to rid him of neuropathy. We found Lighthouse Medical Center, and they did it. And Lighthouse Medical Center was telling me this week, I did not know this, that they treat all kinds of other things too. Back pain, knee pain, or another joint, any joint pain, osteoarthritis, and many other conditions. If you're in pain, you do not need to be in pain. Lighthouse Medical Center can help you. Now, if you have neuropathy, call them. But if you have these other problems, back pain, knee pain, joint pain, osteo, I know the knee is a joint, but, there's other joints too. Osteoarthritis. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for help. It's a no-charge consultation at the Lighthouse Medical Center if you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. All right? No-charge consultation. And I've talked to a whole bunch of listeners about the great neuropathy treatment. You've heard Steve talk about it. I've met many other listeners that have told us how Lighthouse Medical Center has rid them of neuropathy. It's absolutely amazing. Now, it's important to mention that Lighthouse Medical Center has been in practice with the same family in Pompano for 75 years. That's amazing. They may be the oldest medical practice in Broward County. I don't know that for certain, but 75 years, that's a long time. Give them a call. Again, mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show for that no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. If you missed that number or the number of any of our sponsors, go to stevekaneshow.com, click on the sponsor page, and they are all listed there. All right, we'll take our break and be right back.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems.
Did you see this?
Benefits,
I'm going to share this one
help when you're in the hospital.
when we get back.
I Will Advocate clients are family.
Did you see the story of Hunter Biden with his own Pornhub account and sending porn links to his dad? Oh my goodness.
iwilladvocates.com or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located,
Unbelievable.
The state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Ryan Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I two bow ties in the back of my Infiniti. So I called them up, and I always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price?
And
half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, this tire.
This story is unbelievable. It's an unbelievable story.
This is a 60,000-mile warranty. So they're not only half the price, they're twice as good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000-mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And, of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody can buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Steve Kane Tire Show. in Margate. Hey, John. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Test now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any lab test now of Boca is located in the Saddlefoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, 38 minutes after the hour, it's the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be back with us tomorrow. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Jeff in Maine, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
Hey, Brian. You know, a lot of pedophiles, I won't say most, I don't know what the percentage is a learned behavior because they were abused as children. And I really believe that Hunter probably learned that right at home.
Well, there's a news story about Hunter Biden. Listen to this. This is from the laptop from hell, okay? From the laptop. Hunter Biden's search history reveals his obsession with pornography and sex fantasies, including searches for lonely widow and I gotta read slowly to make sure all the words are okay. MILF crack cocaine porn. He uploaded his own amateur porn videos and texted porn links to a contact listed as dad. So he filmed his own porn movies, Hunter Biden. He made sure his face wasn't clear in them. He uploaded them to Pornhub and then sent the links to Joe. Where's this in the news? You know, they made up all this stuff about the great Trump family. Could you imagine if Don Jr., I remember Don Jr., it came out that he had had a little thing with an affair, and there was a photograph she put on Instagram of her feet in bed next to Don Jr.'s feet. The media were showing Don Jr.'s feet next to the lady's feet, the singer's feet, for weeks. Here you got porn movies uploaded by the first son, and he's sending the links to his dad? Homemade porn movies?
What about if one of his daughters accused him of taking it?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! They would, you know what? And it would be appropriate. Those things should be reported, even if Trump. But Trump didn't do anything. Could you imagine if Don Jr. was making homemade porno movies, uploading them to public porn websites, and sending the links to President Trump? Oh my goodness! They that would be it. Pence, they would have been 25th Amendment discussions on that one, but the media aren't even covering this, and this just broke.
It's not only that we have a two-tier system, one for Democrats and one for Republicans or conservatives, liberals, but the mainstream news media is in cahoots with them.
Well, Democrats have, like, democratic immunity. You know, they have complete immunity to do whatever they want. Very rarely do you see a Democrat held accountable for anything they do.
The sad thing, Brian, is this didn't just happen. This has been happening for decades, and now it's just so obvious. You're blind if you don't see it.
I mean, this is worse than anything we heard from Ted Kennedy, other than killing the girl, you know. But this is. I guess if Ted Kennedy were younger and alive today, he'd be doing the same thing.
You know, in the next 5 months until the 2022 midterms, what can the Democrats do possibly to win anybody?
Nothing. They're not going to do anything. And, you know, I know the Queen's Jubilee is all important and everything, but I think Fox could break away from the Queen's Jubilee to cover this new story that just came out about Hunter's homemade porn that he was uploading to public websites and sending the links to Dad. I mean, my goodness.
You know, I like watching Mark Levin and a couple other shows, and that's it.
Yeah.
I very rarely turn on Fox anymore.
Yeah, well, for good reason. All right, Jeff in Maine, take care. Thanks for the call. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea. What's up? Andrea from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, where Governor Wolf wants to give everybody who makes under $80,000 $2,000 just.
When is Dr. Oz gonna be declared the winner in Pennsylvania? I mean, it's been weeks.
Who knows? Who knows? Nobody knows, Brian. They don't even know. They're still recounting.
Yeah.
Recounting. Remember when voting was same day and you knew that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So what's on your mind today? You didn't call me about that. I brought that up.
Now, did you say Hunter Biden had, what was it, Lonely Widow?
Yeah, yes. The Lonely Widow porn is one of his searches. Yes, Lonely Widow. I guess that's how he learned how to seduce his sister-in-law.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, when you think about it, he's making his homemade porn, uploading it to the public website Pornhub, and then sending the links to Joe Biden. I mean, what the hell? I mean, it's hard even for it. It's real. It really did happen. It's just it's like hard to believe that it really happened. You know what happened when you get laptop from what happened? And this story just broke, by the way, today. That Hunter did everything through text messaging, and his text messages were connected to his laptop. So if he sent a text message on his phone, he would get it on his laptop. I get the same thing. I get my text messages on my computer, on my iPad, you know. But I'm not doing the stuff Hunter was doing. So when the laptop was left at the store and people got a hold of it, everything he was doing is public access, including sending his homemade porn links to Joe.
And what's going to happen with that?
Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Some people like me will talk about it, and then there'll be another scandal next week. Now, nothing will happen to any of these people. Look at Sussman was operating a spy operation on the Oval Office of President Trump, and he was just acquitted. So no, nothing is happening to any of these people.
But I do agree with you about Durham. I think that was just one big gaslighting scenario, because he took so long to release the evidence that half of the evidence that he submitted was inadmissible due to the length of time. It was just another gaslighting operation.
Well, this thing with Sussman, this will piss people off when I say this that are MAGA, but a not guilty verdict might have been the right verdict in the Sussman trial. Durham charged Sussman. I know that sounds nuts. Durham tried Sussman for lying to the FBI. He lied, but the evidence they brought forth, Sussman lied to an attorney who works for the FBI. He did not lie to an FBI agent, at least not in the evidence they brought up in the court. So Durham was asking the jury to convict Sussman for lying to the FBI. When he didn't lie to the FBI, he lied to a lawyer who worked for them. I know it's a subtle little difference there, but it's not the same thing, you know. And and there's no way Durham, who's supposed to be the sophisticated top government corruption lawyer in America, didn't know that little detail was not going to get him a conviction. He knew. It's fake. The whole thing was fake, that whole trial. And this is nothing new. You know, I guess I was just blinded by it because I had so much hope that Durham was going to bring some justice.
Well, that's why it's gaslighting.
Yep.
If you really look at what has transpired over the last 3 years, right, despite even what they did to Trump, I will always call Trump the great disruptor, right? Because now, if you're a normal person, there's no way that you cannot see and cannot understand what is going on in this country.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people have been telling me, oh no, Durham's good, he's going to get him, this is just... Strzok, Page, Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, who'd they get? They got nothing. They got some plea deal on some guy that I never heard of, and now, Sussman was walking around with a lot of arrogance during this whole process. Now he knew why. Anyway, hey Andrea, I got to run for our last break, but thanks for the call, Andrea from Pennsylvania. All right, we'll take our break. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642 or online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hi, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. If you call or text me on my cell phone, I will analyze your home and your FPL bill over the phone, and I can quote you on insulation, ducts, and radiant barrier. Call me now, and I'll show you how to save up to 30 to 40% on your electric bill this month and for every month from here till eternity. 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Call now, get up to 50% off, and receive an additional $500 on over 2,000 square feet of radiant barrier, an additional $1,000 off 4,000 square feet of radiant barrier. Call or text me now, 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Or you can find me on the web at cutmykilowatts.com.
Oops. All right, it is time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca Raton with the Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking this morning?
Metals looking good. After a nice up day yesterday, we've got a follow-through with gold even higher this morning, getting up to $1,860 so far this morning. Right now, yesterday we saw gold close up $9 at $1,846.10 the ounce. Silver was up 30 cents at $21.81 the ounce, while platinum was up $11 at $9.97, and palladium was down $6 at $1,944. As I said, gold getting up to $1,860 this morning on a much weaker U.S. dollar, and right now trading at $1,855 the ounce. That's up $8.90. Silver up 29 cents at $22.10 the ounce. Platinum up $9 actually, at $1,006, back over that $1,000 number, and palladium up $12 at $1,956 the ounce. So that's
And in this tough economy we're in, people are looking to make some extra cash here, or maybe get involved in the gold and silver and other precious metals markets. William Youngerman, you don't just sell the metals, you also buy them. What are some of the things that people have at home that may be just gathering dust that they can turn into a coin or coins or cash?
Yes, indeed. Anything in the precious metals, whether it's jewelry, maybe it's just something that you don't wear, watches, paper money that's sitting in a safety deposit box that maybe just somebody set aside because it was unusual. Can bring hundreds and even thousands of dollars. So if you're looking to find out what it's worth, bring it in. All Steve Kane listeners get a free appraisal and cash on the spot should you decide to sell.
Yeah, and if you have jewelry that that is old and ugly and out of date and just god awful to look at, that's still worth money too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, now William Youngerman opens up weekdays at 10. You can stop right in. They're located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or give them a call toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010 for William Youngerman. All right, William, we'll talk tomorrow and finish out the week.
Okay, have a great...
All right, take care. All right, we'll squeeze in a couple more calls maybe by the end of the show here. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jim from New York.
Hey, Jim. All right.
Hey, Brian, quick question, and I apologize if it's a little bit off topic, but what happened to Neil Rod?
New. Well, there's been some changes at the radio station. We'll talk more about them We'll talk more about them tomorrow and next week. But no, there's new ownership at the radio station, so there's a bit of a lineup change.
All right. Well, no, I appreciate the heads up, and sorry to change.
Hey, you wouldn't be the first caller to change topics. Richie does it every time he calls. That's the way it is. Well, the thing about it is he's sending the porn links to his dad. I mean, who does that? You know what? I'll tell you what that was about. All right? What he's doing is he's blackmailing his dad. If you don't give me what I want, if you don't do what I want to do, everyone's going to get this link. That's what he's doing. That's why he was emailing the links to his dad.
Look, it just shows how disgusting that family is. And we thought that, remember when...
Oh, Jim, we lost you, Jim. But hey, listen, thanks for the call. Hopefully he left that. He's a registered Republican now that he's in Florida. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, Liberal Al. Hey, how you doing?
I'm looking for it's getting very close to when Trump's going to get indicted. I'm predicting sometime in late August, early September.
Yeah.
I don't know how closely you're following this.
No, I'm not following it all. I'm not following it all. None of it. Think about. Listen, with what's going on right now, there is a baby famine going on in this country with the baby formula empty store shelves, and you're still back with your fantasy of a Trump indictment. What is your comment on Biden causing millions of babies to go hungry in America?
Well, that's not Biden. It's the laboratory, the Addison laboratory.
The laboratory? The laboratory? You can't even get your talking point straight. You're talking about the canning facility? No. It was exposed by Republicans about 3 weeks ago that there were Border Patrol and others sent photographs and videos to members of Congress that there were huge buys of baby formula by the federal government of liquid baby formula for the illegal babies at the southern border.
So it all has to do with illegal babies.
Well, it's part of it, yes.
Ed, you need to be adjusting your medication.
Oh, you're a doctor now. You're prescribing. You're very confused. Dr. Laura, you mean Dr. Lemaski? You're very confused today.
Yeah.
With Dr. Laura. Dr. Lemaski's a real doctor. So you don't care about the hungry babies. You don't care about the hungry babies.
I do care about the hungry babies.
Well, what's Biden doing about it? What is Biden doing about the hungry babies?
They say within 6 to 8 weeks it'll all be fixed.
Really? How's he going to fix it? 6 to 8 weeks? It's been going on for 6 weeks already. Yeah? Oh my goodness. Trump indictments he's talking about. Well, there are hungry babies. He's in Trump indictments. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Carl in Columbus.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Brian, do you think this Hunter sending the text of his link, a Pornhub link to his dad, do you think maybe the whole thing might be that China had this and they just had Hunter drop it off at that?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hunter Biden's really a tragic figure. When you hear Joe, all he does is talk about Beau, right? And Hunter is severely damaged by that. And everything he does is getting back at his dad. He left the laptop at the store to get even with his dad.
What I'm thinking is, yes, he did drop it off at the store, but maybe they found out that China had all this and was going to blackmail him. And if Hunter drops this off at the laptop store, it kind of takes that.
You're going to a guy who is as hardcore of an addict as a person can possibly be and putting all kinds of things. No. He sent. My guess would be he filmed his own porn, uploaded it to the Pornhub site, and then sent the links to his dad in text messages. Right? It wasn't China that was doing the blackmailing. It was Hunter was blackmailing Joe. Oh yeah, okay. Then if you don't, he wanted something. I don't know what it was.
He wanted to keep a bigger piece of the cut.
Something. He wanted something. Joe wouldn't give it to him, and that was him telling him, if you don't give me what I want, Dad, I'm going to text this link to Sean Hannity or something. I don't know, but that's the, yeah.
And when Biden didn't, when Joe didn't give him what he wanted, he just gave it to the laptop.
Well, that was acting out too. You know, first off, you know, I have never taken a laptop or a computer. You get a new computer. Right. Especially when you're rich like Biden. Who does that? Exactly. All right, take care. Carl from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, man. All right, listen, guys, we are all out of time for today. We will be back tomorrow morning. Steve Kane will be back with us tomorrow. My name's Brian Craig. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
From neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop this.
All right, guys, listen, I got to run. But make sure you like the video before you go, all right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, guys. Take care.